throughout the day and across the area all the way through northwest Indiana. Gusts of up to 45 miles an hour. Snow is likely Thursday night in Wisconsin. It could get heavy at times. Winds here have forced the closure of the Chicago Skyway Bridge. ComEd reporting a few thousand power outages on their outage map this morning, scattered across their wide service area in northern Illinois. Strong winds are also pushing back overnight closures on Lakeshore Drive. Chicago Department of Transportation telling us construction will be delayed until Sunday or Monday night. We'll get details and an update on that with Jim Talamonte in just a moment. Turning to other news this morning, Chicago police are searching for a person of interest after a 2-year-old Rockford boy's remains were found in a Garfield Park lagoon. Kerry Knox disappeared in August, but wasn't reported missing until September. University of Illinois trustees set to vote on a resolution urging state lawmakers to end their impasse and pass a budget. That resolution is set for a vote later today. The head of the Obama Foundation telling Chicago business and civic leaders the city needs to get its house in order so it can effectively attract visitors from around the world. Martin Nesbitt says the city can't invite the world to the south side to the Obama Museum without demonstrating it can fix problems plaguing that community. Authorities are investigating after a former Chicago high school basketball star, Michael Wright, was found dead in Brooklyn. He was discovered Tuesday with a head wound inside his SUV. His death right now being treated as a homicide. You may recall Wright played at Farragut Academy with Kevin Garnett and Ronnie Fields and was a standout at Arizona, drafted by the Knicks in 2001, but for some reason never made that roster. Chicago sports, Northern Illinois, right here on AM 560 last night. Wind or no wind, they looked awfully good. 41-30 winners over Buffalo. Freshman quarterback Ryan Graham had 268 total yards and 2 touchdowns. Northern now 5-1 in the MAC West. Bears running back Matt Forte practiced Wednesday on a limited basis. There's hockey tonight as New Jersey takes on the Blackhawks. The news, a service of Unbound. Poverty doesn't discriminate. It feeds on the forgotten. At Unbound, they believe in the collective wisdom of society's oldest and most vulnerable, providing sponsorship for the elderly. One way Unbound is different at unbound.org. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
When all is said and done and the Obama administration rides off into the sunset, what one overwhelming theme will be the lasting impression? Here's one: asleep at the switch. While ISIS was making a rampage across the Middle East, we did nothing. While a Syrian dictator was killing 300,000 of his own people, we did nothing. When thousands of those same refugees came pouring across the border, we did nothing. Unfortunately, we were and still are asleep at the switch. So keep it here to learn what we can do about that. AM 560, The Answer.
My name is Dr. Howard. I've recommended Balance of Nature for over 15 years because of the excellent results I see in my patients. Balance of Nature doesn't make any claims of treating or curing any particular disease, but I think the results speak for themselves.
I stopped taking artificially produced multivitamins, and I tried the Balance of Nature because it just makes sense. What's more natural than actual food? It just rings true. It just makes sense, and from a scientific standpoint, it makes sense also. You're supposed to be getting nutrition from whole foods. I definitely feel better overall. My energy level is better.
When you can give your body a full variety of 31 different fruits and vegetables in their 100% natural, whole food form, you receive the unmatched balance of nutrition. Call toll-free 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and be sure to enter promo code CHICAGO.
5:06, let's get an update on the roads in our ChicagoRadioDeals.com traffic center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Well, as you know, the winds are a major factor. The Skyway is shut down between 92nd and the state line due to the high winds and debris. On the Indiana Toll Road, there is a wind ban for the entire length of the toll road. No triple trailers or high-profile double trailers. Any high-profile oversized loads on the toll road until 6 p.m. Central Time. Northbound I-65 near State Road 2 in Lowell, there's a rollover crash in the ditch. Crews are there. A lot of debris blowing around. 394 northbound is partially obstructed at Sauk Trail. There's high water on the Adams Tollway, eastbound I-90, just past Arlington Heights Road. The right lane is blocked. Lakeshore Drive is open. The closure of the southbound side between Michigan Avenue and Randolph, that's been pushed back till Sunday night. Traffic is a service of RCN Entertainment Redefined. Get award-winning, super-fast 155 internet and awesome digital TV as low as $55.94 per month. Plus, take TV anywhere with RCN to go. It's awesome-amazing. RCN Entertainment Redefined. 1-800-RING-RCN or RCN.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center. Air Comfort is your commercial HVAC solution provider. Here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Wind advisory in effect until 6 p.m. Winds gusting past 50 miles per hour today. A passing shower for the morning, otherwise mostly cloudy. Winds locally damaging, high 51. Partly cloudy and windy tonight with a low of 35. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently, we have 42 degrees at O'Hare. Next news coming up 5:30, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by The Lou Bridges Show, a show about the greatest financial crime in history. Saturday mornings at 8 on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning. Welcome to your Thursday morning briefing. Here's what you need to know to start your day.
In a race defined by personalities, GOP candidates are fresh off a debate dominated by policy instead.
How is it conservative to add $1 trillion in military expenditures?
We can't even have an economy if we're not safe.
Spike Lee was candid, frank, and did not avoid any question about all the controversy surrounding Chirac. And despite all the uproar, Lee says Chirac is a serious film with a little comedy that's designed to shake up the status quo.
Do you think Jennifer Hudson will accept this role with some BS? Come on.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan Proft, Amy Jacobson. And still some fallout from Tuesday night's debate. Marco Rubio didn't have to answer the immigration question. He kind of deftly avoided the back and forth between Trump and Cruz on the one side, and essentially on the one side, and Kasich and Jeb on the other side.
He was ducking, wasn't he? Like,
yeah.
I dropped my pen. Let me get that.
Yeah.
Oh, hi. What you guys are talking about immigration?
Yeah, because he's and you've got a Cruz Super PAC ad that's up, running currently, that hits Rubio for his participation with the Gang of Eight amnesty program from a couple of years back. He talks about lessons learned. He didn't talk about them during the debate, but he did get asked the immigration question directly on Fox and Friends yesterday. And here's what he had to say. See if this is compelling to you. See if this sounds like Rubio has learned his lesson.
So where'd you get the $1 trillion? Where are you going to get the $1 trillion from that Rand Paul says we shouldn't be spending?
First of all, before we fund anything, the federal government should be fully funding national security. It is the most important obligation of the federal government. And without it, none of these other things matter. You can't grow your economy if you're under duress. You can't grow your economy if you're sucked into wars because of weakness. And you can't grow your economy if your people aren't safe because they're coming under terrorist attack. So before we fund anything, we should fully fund defense.
Yeah, that of course, that was in response to the back and forth between Rubio and Rand Paul on Tuesday night. And it's Rubio is deft at giving these non-answer answers that kind of talk past the issue. We agree that national defense is the first order of business, the security of Americans, the first order of business for the federal government, as is the physical safety of constituents at every level of government. But that doesn't explain specifically why spending another $1 trillion will advance that aim, that responsibility.
Yeah, well,
that's what he has to answer.
He's really good at the non-answer answer. Did he ever answer the question during that interview? I mean, did somebody hold him accountable and say, wait? No, how do you feel? What is your immigration plan?
No, he just talked about kind of where our troop levels are, and readiness is versus where he thinks it should be, although it was more just we don't have the troop levels we need. We don't have the hardware we need. We need more. That wasn't specific enough for me.
Do we need more?
Well, I think this is...
it's always good to have more, but do we need it? Because I don't even think we have a plan yet to
right. In a world
attack ISIS.
In a world of scarcity, there's always more demand for a good than there is supply, like more demand for money than there is supply. Right, so I get it, but Rubio's lack of specificity is a bit troubling. If that's going to be the centerpiece and something that distinguishes him from non-interventionists like Rand Paul and maybe even from some of the other establishment candidates, then I think at some point before people start casting ballots in this race, he's going to have to be more specific. So that was one of the back and forths Rubio was in on Tuesday night. Here was his response to the immigration question, one of the back and forths he was not in.
I say we're starting that argument the wrong way. The first step has to be bringing illegal immigration under control. You know, the lesson of 2013 when I was involved in a bill in the Senate, the lesson I learned from that is the people of the United States do not trust the federal government on immigration. And you're going to have to prove to them that illegal immigration is under control, that the numbers have been brought down substantially. That means not just passing a border security law, but actually doing it and proving it to them. And once you do that, the second step is to modernize our legal immigration system so that it's merit-based. And after you've done those two things, then we will realistically but responsibly deal with the people that are here illegally. If you're a criminal, you'll be deported. If you're not a criminal and have been here longer than 10 years, you have to learn English, you have to start paying taxes, you're going to have to pay a fine, and you get a work permit. And that's all you're going to have for at least 10 years. I believe that's the only way forward, but it begins by enforcing our immigration laws.
What do you think of that answer?
It was an answer, and I don't disagree with it. Get rid of the criminals first.
Well,
and
then
learn English and start paying taxes.
But see, that's not what he said. Get rid of the criminals first would be a better answer. What he said was, first we need to stem the tide of illegal immigration.
Okay,
so that's
that's
conceding what we have in the country now in terms of, just for example, violent criminals that everyone agrees shouldn't be here, but they're here anyway. So first we have to secure the border, stop the flow. Then we have to reform the legal regime governing illegal immigration. And then we get to people here who are currently here illegally, starting with the criminals. That is years down the road. Even if you had a Republican president and a Republican Congress, the idea that the third step in that three-step process, you think that's going to happen overnight? To me, the sense of urgency is people here who are here illegally, particularly those that are known quantities, who are convicted criminals, and they keep coming back. So, yes, there is a secure the border aspect of this. That is where the sense of urgency should be, number one. And number two, why is it that the federal government doesn't believe they can run parallel tracks? Why can't you move to secure the border
while you're deporting illegals?
Right. What is so?
It doesn't have to be a 1, 2, 3-step process.
Yeah,
it could be parallel action.
Right. These five,
kind of like movies.
Yeah, these 5-step processes that put us out, decades. Why can't you do two things at once, or essentially put forward a synchronized plan that allows you to pursue multiple aims consistent with the overall objective simultaneously? Is that crazy? We talked to Ralph and Rantoul called in yesterday. Said, well, it's interesting. President Obama didn't do a 1-step, 2-step, 3-step when it came to overhauling and essentially taking over, backdoor takeover of 1/6 of our economy with Obamacare. Now, I'm not suggesting that's the model, but I am suggesting that when the federal government wants something, they seem to be able to act in a comprehensive fashion, don't they?
Yeah, they'll act right away. They'll move mountains to get their point across and to get their intentions met. But yeah, with Marco Rubio, it doesn't. His immigration stance is just middle of the road, moderate positioning on it. And people want tougher. That's why they like Donald Trump.
Well,
because he wants to deport 11 million.
Among others.
Well, what is Ted Cruz's stance? Because I like Ted Cruz, but I have not studied his immigration policy.
Well, Ted Cruz's stance is going to is distinguishable from Rubio's, so that's important for Cruz and for those people that may be leaving Carson or Trump and assessing between Cruz and Rubio. This is an area where there is clearly disagreement. Rubio is giving kind of talking points answer. Cruz is talking specifically not dissimilar from Trump. I don't know that he's gone as far as Trump has gone. Certainly he couches it in more artful rhetoric. But this is a point of departure between Rubio and Cruz. And, of course, it's a point of departure between Donald Trump and the rest of the field. Trump was on Morning Joe yesterday talking about Tuesday night's debate. And specific.
And how did he think he did?
He thought he did great. Wonderful.
And that said enough about me. What do you think of me?
But he called the moderators elegant. They were elegant.
That sounds like something I would say.
And it's a word you don't hear from Trump too often, or associated with Trump. But he was on Morning Joe, and he talked again about immigration because Mika pushed him on how are you going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And he started by
good for her.
He started by explaining what Mexico does. And let's just hear Trump. Here's comparing what we do versus what Mexico does when it comes to persons there illegally.
If that happened in Mexico, we had to go. The baby, Mexico would throw you the hell out. You know, Mexico is the hardest country in the world just about to become a citizen of. But they send people over here. And I'm not just talking Mexico. They're coming in from Asia. They're coming in from all over the world.
You can't become, you cannot be an American and become a Mexican citizen.
Well,
it's not even an option.
Here's the thing. That argument about here's what other countries do is never compelling to me because we're not other countries. So I don't want to emulate Mexican policy. I don't want to emulate the policy of other countries. I want to focus on what our policy should be consistent with the values on which this nation was founded. So what other countries are doing is irrelevant to me. This is like when Kinzinger or some of the proponents of the Export-Import Bank say, well, every other industrialized country has a government that picks winners and losers. Oh, I know. That's why I want to distinguish ourselves from every other country. I don't want to pursue bad policies because other countries are doing it. So that's not compelling to me. But the other part of this was Trump not just going to have the branded wall, the Trump wall on the border.
Laced in 14-karat gold, or has he given up that dream?
I don't know. But he is going to have also the Trump deportation force.
Oh, that's right.
And I can't wait to see the uniforms.
You're going to have a deportation force, and you're going to do it humanely, and you're going to bring the country, and frankly, the people, because you have some excellent, wonderful people, some fantastic people that have been here for a long period of time. Don't forget, Mika, that you have millions of people that are waiting online to come into this country, and they're waiting to come in legally. And I always say the wall. We're going to build the wall. It's going to be a real deal. It's going to be a real wall.
Yeah, and
that's what we need, another government agency.
Went on to his riff. But the point he raised, which wasn't raised during the debate, and I'm surprised it wasn't during the discussion on immigration, was, what about those? Why should the people who jump the line be given favored treatment as compared to the people who are waiting in line and trying to emigrate to this country legally? That's a question that the left doesn't have a good answer to.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Word for the day is wind. Not this station, but what's going on outside. 35 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts. We will have a passing morning shower. Otherwise, it'll be windy throughout the day, a high of 51 degrees. And then tomorrow, windy again with intervals of clouds and sunshine, even cooler, a high in the mid-40s. I'm sure it's wind is wreaking havoc on the roadways with debris. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy. Good morning. Good morning, Dan. Sure is. Lots of debris causing blockages throughout the area. In fact, a very major closure is the Chicago Skyway shut down entirely between 92nd and the state line. That big bridge is closed as well due to the high winds and construction debris there. The Indiana Toll Road has a high wind ban for its entire length until 6 p.m. Central Time. No triple tractor trailers or high-profile oversized loads. Northbound I-65 near State Road 2, there's a rollover crash in the ditch. On the inbound Ryan, there's a crash reported, and trying to nail down a location on that. Then farther north, there is slow traffic from 18th into downtown, about a 2-minute delay. Bishop Ford, a 4-minute delay entering downtown. Lakeshore Drive is open. The southbound closures near the Oak Street curve even pushed back to Sunday and Monday night. And Jim Talamonte, ChicagoRadioDeals.com, Traffic Center.
My name is David Hochberg, and I'm Vice President of Lending at Pearl Mortgage. That's right, I'm now Vice President of Lending at Pearl Mortgage. If you're looking to purchase a new home or refinance your existing home, give me a call. I'm the same guy that's provided listeners with honest advice and outstanding customer service for the past 13 years. The only thing that's changed is where I work. When you want to refinance and pay off debt, you called me and I helped you. When your kids were purchasing their first home and you wanted to make sure they were working with a trustworthy lender, you called me and I helped them. If you would like to talk to me about a mortgage, please give me a call at 312-751-1333. That's 312-751-1333. Email me at david@pearldavid.com. That's david@PERLDavid.com. Or visit my website, am560david.com. 312-751-1333. Pearl Mortgage is an equal housing lender, Illinois residential mortgage licensee, 4358, licensed by DBO under California RMLA and MLS 19186, pearlmortgage.com licensing.
Chicago. This is a city of hardworking, dedicated people. So when you need a team to design, construct, and finish your project on time and on budget, look no further than to CPMH Construction. CPMH Construction is a full-service construction company specializing in commercial and industrial projects, along with sewer, excavation, and parking lot design. This MBE certified business uses the technology you want and puts it in the hands of their skilled crew of tradesmen. Tradesmen who are loaded with the know-how and experience to address every detail of your job, meeting your standard of excellence. At CPMH, client satisfaction is the foundation of their success, which is why 97% of their clients return for additional services. Call CPMH today at 312-929-2345. That's 312-929-2345. Or visit cpmhconstruction.com and let them develop and implement a plan that ensures you the success of your next big project.
Coming up next, it's me, Mike Gallagher, right after Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560, The Answer.
Oh, yeah, it's coming, Dan.
Chirac is coming, but one other side note on immigration. We're talking about Trump and Rubio, a little bit of the post-debate conversation on immigration. Yesterday, a Economist YouGov poll finds that 49% of Republicans and independents who lean to the GOP say Trump is the presidential candidate who can best handle the issue. 49%. Second place, Marco Rubio with 10%.
Really?
So this is one of the reasons why Trump isn't going anywhere. And it's become clear to me that he's not going anywhere. Again, that's not the same thing as saying he's going to be the nominee, but he's going to be a factor because that is nearly a majority of the primary electorate, at least one iteration of it based on this survey, that believes far and away he's the best person to handle immigration. And because of the Syrian refugee crisis and because of Obama's executive amnesty, immigration has risen on the matrix of issues that people are most concerned about. And so the person who they believe is best equipped to handle an issue that's in their top three for a plurality of Republican primary voters, that means something politically. That's part of where Trump's political power is coming from, is this kind of immigration populism. Ed in Oak Brook, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, you talking to me?
Yeah, go ahead, Ed.
Oh, yeah. My point is, I work with numbers every day, and I pay about, state and all local taxes, about $120,000 a year. And the point I'm trying to make is that when they throw out like $1 trillion or $1 billion or even $1 million for this program, no one knows what that means. Like, where does that money go? Is that on top of the trillions of dollars that you're already spending? Nobody knows. They can throw out these numbers all day, and nobody knows what $1 trillion is because they're looking at, I'm paying for gas, $2.30 a gallon or something like that. How do you spend $1 trillion on anything? So that's the point I'm saying. The only person that was going to account for it, and I never heard a politician ever say that, was Carly when she said every dollar.
Zero-based budgeting. Yeah. Thanks for the call, Ed. Also, too, when politicians talk about numbers, notice how they always talk in round numbers? Everything's so neat and tidy.
Nothing's like $9.99.
Right. $1 trillion, it's $100 billion, it's $500 billion. It's always nice, tidy, round numbers that are usually off by a factor of 10.
Remember that couple down south who won the lotto? They won the Mega Millions? $210
in Southern Illinois?
million. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Redbud, right?
Redbud, yeah. They wanted to follow because half of that, or almost half of it, went to taxes, state taxes and federal taxes. And they wanted to follow the money. Like, okay, I'm giving you millions. I mean, think about it, millions of dollars in taxes, and they wanted to follow it. And I thought, that would be a great reality TV show. Them handing over, getting all the cash at first, then handing it over and follow the cash through Springfield, what pockets it lands in, what lobbyists get kickbacks, what politicians might get kickbacks.
That could be like
I thought that would be a great idea for a reality TV.
It is. That is a great, or
especially in Illinois.
Or a 21st century Schoolhouse Rock. Have it replace I'm Just a Bill on Capitol Hill.
Right.
That would be cool. I'm just a dollar
that
your government spends. See how they spend it.
Do you want to sing that song? I'm just a bill. Yes.
I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's a long, long journey.
I lost it.
Yeah, no, I don't want to sing it now.
Why?
You ruined it for
Did
me.
I ruin it for you? Darn it.
Never play that again.
That's a great one. That after Schoolhouse Rock special. Yeah, so they tried to see where their money went. And
how'd that work out for them?
It didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, I just take the $100 million that you won and
go away.
Don't worry about it.
But they still live
Build
there.
big fences too, by the way.
Maybe they could sponsor the wall that Donald Trump wants.
The Redbud couple and Donald Trump. Interesting idea.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
For missing teeth, dental implants are wonderful. The advantages are fantastic. They really are just like your original ones. What you probably don't know is that not all implants are the same quality, and there are a lot of unqualified people doing implants.
This is Brian DeWolf. I have 2 implants from Fox River Periodontics. I had one. I was happy with it. So I had another one done, and I love them. The idea of dentures didn't appeal to me at all. I didn't want that appliance in my mouth. These implants are wonderful. They're just like your real teeth, and they're probably even better because there's no nerve attached to them, so there's no pain, and they last forever. Dr. Neruzzi is great, and his staff is wonderful, and I trust him completely. If you're looking for dental implants, or considering dental implants for a missing tooth or for a whole mouthful, talk to Dr. Neruzzi. You'll be happy you did, and Fox River Periodontics.
Just remember, implantsforme.com. Implantsforme.com.
This is Dr. Neruzzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants. Go to implantsforme.com.
You've heard me talking about the new website, upstream-ideas.com. If you haven't checked it out yet, then you're missing thoughtful, expository content you won't find anywhere else from those who have operated in the political and policy arenas. Each week, you can watch the latest episode of Against the Current, our long-form interview series with policymakers and opinion leaders. This week, it is Chicago broadcasting legend Bruce Dumont. You can also watch Illinois by the Numbers, our video series that breaks down Illinois one number at a time to explain what the policy challenges are, why we have them, and what we can do about them. And you can check out highlights from each Sunday's Illinois Rising program, which tackles state and local politics and policy with deep thinkers from the Illinois Policy Institute and Illinois Opportunity Project. At Upstream Ideas, questions are asked that don't get asked anywhere else. Points of view are heard that are not heard anywhere else. No sacred cows, no punches pulled. It's all at upstream-ideas.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, as death threats spread at Mizzou, a professor resigns. It's all getting just a little bit crazy.
And there is at least one adult left on a college campus in America, and he happens to be the president of Purdue. We'll have that at 5:35.
But first, let's go back into the newsroom and say good morning to Mike Scott.
Clouds and 45 degrees, and the window meter in the newsroom blowing at 27 miles an hour this morning out of the south-southwest. And that witch of November is casting a spell of wicked weather over millions of Americans. The name weather experts are giving to that powerful low-pressure system, blasting severe winds here across the upper Midwest. In Kansas yesterday, Jesse Elliott lost her roof to the storm.
It's gone. So, and now, all I can really do is I got to fix it.
Meantime, the wild weather blew over semis, damaged homes, and dropped a foot of snow on Colorado. Democrat presidential candidate Martin O'Malley makes a little history at the dinner table tonight. Former Maryland governor is having dinner at the home of a family in Texas headed by illegal immigrants. It's all being organized by some immigrant rights groups. Coalition air support backing up Kurdish forces today. They're trying to reclaim a key Iraqi town from ISIS. Reclaiming the town of Sinjar is seen as a way to break up the caliphate that ISIS has claimed in the region. Chicago police are searching for a person of interest after a 2-year-old Rockford boy's remains were found in the Garfield Park Lagoon. Kirian Knox disappeared in August but wasn't reported missing until September. BMO Harris is freezing an account set up for the family of Fox Lake officer Joseph Glinowitz. The funds are being held pending results of an investigation into the lieutenant. A state lawmaker is trying to resuscitate 2 harness racing tracks that are expected to close by the end of the year. Democrat Thaddeus Jones is sponsoring a bill to reverse the Illinois Racing Board's decision to move harness racing dates from Balmoral and Maywood Park to Hawthorne. Jones accuses the board of trying to punish the owners of Balmoral and Maywood, the Johnston family, for their involvement in the Blagojevich corruption scandal. Chicago sports, Northern Illinois right here on AM 560. Knocked down Buffalo 41-30 in the MAC. NIU now 5-1 in the MAC West. On the ice later tonight, New Jersey and the Blackhawks, and in the NFL, it's the Jets and Bills. The news, a service of Unbound. At Unbound, you'll know who you're helping and what impact your support is having on their life. That is just one way Unbound is different. Learn more at unbound.org. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
My wife, Helene, she knows me better than anybody on this planet. Ask her anything.
The Joe Walsh Show.
I just have one quick question. Is he always angry?
No. You know what? When we're at home, we're actually very quiet. He's not angry. I'm the one he has to calm me down half the time.
You're killing the image, Helene.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5. Right after Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Don't listen to a damn word she says. I'm always pissed off.
Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer is a must-have for all busy parents. With just one scan to the forehead, Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer takes your child's temperature quickly and accurately. Available at Walgreens.
This is Amy Jacobson. I'm excited to tell everybody who's considered buying a MyPillow but hasn't that now with the buy one, get one free offer, you'll also get a 60-day money-back guarantee. Basically, you can try MyPillow risk-free. You have nothing to lose and could be enjoying your best sleep ever. What are you waiting for? It is so important to get a great night's sleep. MyPillow helps with snoring, headaches, neck pain, insomnia, allergies, and more. Plus, it's washable and keeps its shape to give you support where you need it most. That's why it's the official pillow of the National Sleep Foundation. For the MyPillow buy one, get one free offer and 60-day money-back guarantee, visit MyPillow.com or call 800-489-0201. Please use the promo code Amy. Do it now. This offer is for a limited time. 800-489-0201 or online at mypillow.com. Promo code Amy. 800-489-0201.
A little preventive maintenance before the holiday season could save you thousands of dollars and a lot of heartache.
Hi, I'm Roy Spencer, president of Permaseal. The holidays are tough on your sewer lines. Overuse of garbage disposals and paper products, in addition to grease buildup, can clog your sewer line. And a clogged sewer line can result in raw sewage backing up into your home. You'll want to avoid that unpleasant surprise when your family comes to visit. Permaseal has a simple solution to help you prevent this disgusting problem. Call 800-421-SEAL by November 30th and pay only $199 for your sewer rotting service. A certified Permaseal technician will rod your main sewer line and eliminate any blockages. For over 36 years, our mission has been to provide a superior customer experience and the greatest value. Call 800-421-SEAL. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 800-421-SEAL or visit permaseal.net.
Restrictions apply. See your Permaseal representative for further details.
Don't best for being better, Permaseal.
5:35 in our Chicago RadioDeals.com traffic center. The latest with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. On the near west side, inbound green and pink line trains are only getting as far as Clinton and Lake. There's a track condition near Clark and Lake, so bus shuttles are running in that area instead. You have a closure on the outbound line of the express lanes on the southbound side. This is between the Stevenson and 31st. Got a crash there. Multiple cars involved, injuries as well. The locals are open. Inbound, there's a Capers delay starting now well before 35th. It's about 25 minutes from 95th to downtown. The Chicago Skyway is closed entirely due to the high winds and blowing debris. It's closed between 92nd and the state line. It is open from the Rhine to 92nd. On the inbound side of the Stevenson Expressway, see a slight delay from Pulaski to Kedzie. Bishop Ford, about a 7-minute delay from 115th to the merge. Still light on the other expressways and tollways, but the winds are a major factor, and there is a wind ban for high-profile triple trailers and oversized loads on the Indiana Toll Road. Traffic service of UPSjobs.com, seeking part-time package handlers throughout Chicagoland, especially Northbrook, Palatine, Franklin Park, and Bedford Park. Package handlers graduate debt-free with up to $25,000 in education assistance. Apply now at upsjobs.com/radio. Get there with UPS. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center. Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solution provider. Very windy day, a passing morning shower, locally damaging winds, and some power outages we're dealing with. 51 for a high temp later today, 35 overnight. Currently, 42 degrees. Your next news update is at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Property Tax Show, Saturdays at 6 p.m., hosted by Brad Hayes, Chicagoland's property tax expert.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, so things continuing to spiral out of control at the University of Missouri, at the Columbia campus. Yesterday, there was an arrest. A 19-year-old sophomore studying computer science at a sister campus was charged yesterday with making a terrorist threat after his arrest at a residence hall. His name, Hunter Park, 19-year-old sophomore. This is the AP reporting. He is suspected of posting online threats to shoot black students and faculty.
Yeah, he posted that on the social site Yik Yak. But it's supposed to be anonymous, but it's not anonymous when you make threats like that. But that was enough to remove people from Tent City. So when they heard that right away, Peyton Head, Jonathan Butler, and all their friends packed up their tents and got out of town. Some even left campus. And they drove home.
The threats included, to quote, shoot every black person I see. Another threat from this Hunter Park. Some of you are all right. Don't go to campus tomorrow. So, I mean, that's serious stuff, particularly in the context. So that's idiocy, or worse, and this guy deserved to be arrested. So that's one development. Another development, though, is Peyton Head's imagination.
Yeah, Peyton Head, he is a gay African-American student, president of the student body at Mizzou. So they elected him. People... they're not showing bias or being racist.
From Rich South. Went to Rich South.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's teamed up with Jonathan Butler. And Jonathan Butler, together the two are the ones who actually, if you look at this whole trail of behavior, they're the ones who brought down the university president. But Jonathan Butler, while he was having his 7-day hunger strike, this is new audio that we should play for you, he was harassed. So they say that they have proof now that he was being the victim of racial bias.
You think not eating for 8 days is hard? Take a walk to Africa where there's famine and corruption all over a continent. You stupid piece of think the United States is comparable to that? Are you kidding me? How many millions of us have died for our documents? Only to be bastardized by a bunch.
Now, keep in mind, Jonathan Butler was at the Quad for 7 days, and this was one night, real late at night, about 2 a.m, actually, and this drunk guy walked by and like, "What do you think you are?"
So give him a candy bar or something. Was that guy in a hunger strike too? No. Oh.
He was just walking by. But Jonathan Butler, he originally started protesting because his friend Peyton Head was apparently called the N-word, but also he was upset that health care was being eliminated to students at Mizzou. But the reason why health care was being eliminated at Mizzou, health care subsidies, yes, was because of Obamacare. They don't need to have health care subsidies.
Racist.
No, that's not racist.
Obamacare is racist.
But
they say
guy,
so it is.
Jonathan Butler, found out where he's from and, what kind of childhood he had. His dad made $7 million last year only. They live in Nebraska. They live in Omaha, and his dad their net worth is $20 million. So I think his family probably could have paid for his health care subsidies if he asked. He's only 24 years old, so he's still covered under Obamacare if he needs to.
Mm-hmm.
So this person saying, the black suffrage and we've been, downtrodden. No, your family is very successful.
That doesn't
Doesn't
mean anything.
qualify
It does not mean that the white power structure, white supremacists, including all of those KKK members that are professors and administrators at the campus of University of Missouri, that doesn't, his family's net worth has nothing to do with that. He is just as much a victim as everyone else on that campus, which is to say not.
Yeah, but it's just, it surprises me. I mean, it was such a fraud committed because he was complaining about healthcare when his family can pay for his healthcare.
Well,
this is a fraud.
No. He's a leader.
Oh.
He is doing this for others.
Oh, okay.
He is throwing himself on the pyre of injustice in order to save his brothers and sisters.
There was such hysteria with all these threats coming in on social media, and that they even closed the Starbucks, Dan, because everyone got out of town at Mizzou because they were afraid. My nephew, I talked to him, he said it was a ghost town. Some people didn't even go to class because they thought some gunman was going to come on campus and shoot everybody.
Well, Peyton Head, who apparently has taken over the university and people are taking direction from him.
What is he?
He tweeted yesterday, students, please take precaution. Stay away from the windows in residence halls. The KKK has been confirmed to be sighted on campus.
What?
Not an English major. I'm working with the MUPD, the state trooper, singular, one state trooper apparently in Missouri, and the National Guard. Peyton Head is working with the National Guard. Have no fear. Governor Nixon, don't worry about it.
I got this one.
Peyton Head is communicating. He's got a liaison with the National Guard. I mean, he is the student body president after all. So the KKK sightings, and of course, this sparked all kinds of additional outrage and concern and
people were running
hysteria.
for their lives.
Yes, right. Run for your lives.
The KKK's on campus. What, people in white sheets running around Mizzou? Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but
no. Well,
but I mean, for him to say that he's in charge of the National Guard, who the hell does this kid think
well,
he
said
is?
he was working with.
He's working with the National Guard.
It's this. Why should his imagination stop with all of the other things that he has imagined?
Did he summon the National Guard, Dan?
No. We have found no evidence of anything related to the KKK on campus, said police spokesman Brian Weimer in a statement. And also, despite Head's claim that he was working with the National Guard, Weimer said the Guard was not present at Missouri at all. So there's that. And then finally, Peyton Head had to come clean. Peyton Head apologizing for spreading the rumors. I'm sorry about the misinformation that I have shared through social media. In a state of alarm, I was concerned for all students of the University of Missouri and wanted to ensure everyone was safe. I received and shared some information from multiple incorrect sources, my imaginary friends, which I deeply regret. So that's Peyton Head sort of apologizing for conjuring up the KKK on campus.
He caused mass hysteria on campus yesterday. He caused Starbucks and other retailers to shut down because they thought a gunman was on campus because of that fraudulent tweet. He should be held accountable. I mean, with free speech comes a great deal of responsibility, Peyton Head. And clearly he didn't have it.
Not at Missouri.
Oh, that's such a fraud.
There's no responsibility as long as you have a particular worldview. I mean, then there's more than responsibility. There's an absolute shutdown if you have a different point of view. We saw that at Yale, which is also an ongoing burning oil derrick. Here's one other point. I mean, there's so much here. Melissa Click.
Oh,
remember her?
And I have new audio of her. Yes, I'm so excited to play it.
Yeah, she was the woman who wanted to get Rocco and Moose to help this reporter find his muzzle. Apparently, she didn't want the reporter talking or snapping pictures of any of the students. On a taxpayer financed campus. Her husband, Melissa Click's husband.
She's married? No. Oh, that. You know what? That was rude. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah,
excuse me. Can I take that back?
Save it for the View. Richard Chip Callahan is her husband.
Chip.
Chip.
Hey,
as
the chipster.
As no one calls him. Self-given nickname, I assume. I don't know. Richard Chip Callahan chairs Missouri's Religious Studies Department.
Oh.
Well, first of all, the fact they have a Religious Studies Department shocks me. But he was also a participant in the shutdown of your friend, photojournalist Tim Tay.
Oh.
He was at the beginning of that video that has gone viral, trying to shut down Tim Tay as he was attempting to document Monday's events. Interestingly, Eric Wemple, who's a media critic over at the Washington Post, no conservative, by the way, has called for Click and Callahan to be fired for bullying the press. So there's at least a growing chorus of voices that aren't just from conservatives who believe in freedom of speech or freedom of press, but we've got some people that are otherwise normally sympathetic to the left recognizing the overwhelming weight of the evidence in this instance as well.
And Click has apologized, and she's been, taken off her position at the School of Journalism, but she's still a communications professor. So don't let that headline scare you. It
scares me that she's still a communication professor.
I know.
Yeah.
But here's I know this video has gone viral of her saying, get off the campus. She's telling Tim Tay to go home. But here's the rest of what she did after it stopped on YouTube.
You think not eating for 8?
Oh, that's not it. Hold on.
Hi, media. Can I talk to you?
No, you need to get out.
Well,
you need to get out.
No, I don't.
You need to get out.
I actually don't.
All right. Hey, who wants to help me get this reporter out of here? I need some muscle over here. Help me get him out. Who's going to help me?
Are you documenting? What are you
I'm
doing?
documenting.
Okay, well,
you need to get out.
Just walk
you need to
forward
get
before
out.
someone comes
This is public property.
Yeah, I know, that's a really good one. I'm a communication faculty, and I really get that argument. But you need to go. You need to go. You need to go.
She put her face in his camera. Like, I'm a communications professor. I mean, God, she has got to go. She's the one who has to leave, not Tim Tay.
Hey, Chip Callahan, I need Chip. I need some muscle.
And she called for muscle? She didn't get any muscle. She didn't. Nobody came to help her kick him out.
Yeah, these are
this is what
these are children. There's no muscle to be had. Mac on the South Side.
So I guess my only question to you guys is the fact that Peyton Head or his family comes from money or he comes from money. What does that have to do with him being able to exercise his rights for free speech?
Well, because his whole point, the whole point of contention was that health care subsidies were going away at Mizzou.
But that wasn't his point of contention. His point of contention was racism at Mizzou.
We're talking about
listen, it was both. That's why he started his hunger strike. No.
One person talk at a time.
Okay.
First of all, it's Jonathan Butler, not Peyton Head, but okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but
I thought you said Jonathan Butler was from Rich South.
No, Peyton Head is from Rich South.
Peyton Head went to Rich South.
Jonathan Butler is from a very well-to-do family in Omaha, Nebraska. And his family can pay for his health care. There's proof of that. I mean, they grossed $7 million last year.
His argument was never his complaint was never health care.
No, it was
racism.
It was both. It was both.
No, it was not, Amy.
Yes, it was.
Well,
he was upset about health care when the Missouri Journal interviewed him.
That president did not step down because those kids had an issue with health care.
No, he stepped down because the football team wasn't going to play.
When they issued their list of demands, student health care was never a part of it. It was racist.
No, student health care is not a part of it. But actually, if you read the Salon.com piece that I cited yesterday.
Forget Salon.com.
Well, wait.
What they're saying.
Mac, I'm about to sort of agree with you. They talked about the Obamacare subsidies as one of those indications of a lack of concern about African American students on campus. So you're right, it wasn't in the list of demands, but it was something that was cited as Tim Wolf being out of step with what's going on the campus and the needs of black students and the like. So, but in terms of your underlying question, the fact that he comes from wealth, does that in any way impact or should it impact his ability to exercise his rights? No, of course not. But it does impact his claim of of privilege only existing for white students or white administrators on campus. Thanks for the call, Mac.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Very windy out there, 35 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts. It's going to last throughout the day, this evening, and into tomorrow. Today, a high of 51. Tomorrow, a high of 46. I'm sure travel times are affected by the windy condition. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Lots of travel issues, Amy and Dan. Actually, the flight boards at O'Hare and Midway don't look too bad. Few delays here and there, but it's nothing major for the most part. There's major problems on the roads and the rails. A skyway closed entirely between 92nd and 106th. High winds and blowing debris on the big Skyway Bridge, so traffic is forced off eastbound at 92nd, westbound at 106th, right at the state line. There's a high wind ban for the Indiana toll road's entire length, both directions, till 6 p.m. Central. No triple tractor trailers or high-profile oversized loads. The CTA, there's a track condition causing trains on the green and pink lines coming inbound on the near west side to not be able to run right now between Clinton and Clark and Lake, so shuttles are running. Allow extra time. There was a crash on the outbound Rhine, closing the express lanes near 31st. It has cleared, but there are inbound delays starting at 35th. So it's about 25 minutes 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, because of that traffic from the Skyway, which is closed, 30 minutes already from 8094 to the Ryan. I'm Jim Talamonte, ChicagoRadioDeals.com Traffic Center.
He quotes borrowers' interest rates and closing costs so low that his competition gave up and started sending their resumes to Townstone Financial. He helped one of his borrowers sell her home and purchase a new property just by watching TV in her living room during an open house. He once helped a retired woman obtain a reverse mortgage when she was about to lose her house. She later asked him to marry her. When he tells you something about a refinance or a purchase, it's not an answer, but a fact. The big banks he competes against fear his every move. He is the most interesting mortgage banker in the world.
My name is Barry Sterner, owner of Townstone Financial. Loans don't always get approved or handled the right way, but when they do, it's because you called Townstone Financial. So call me, Barry Sterner, at 312-896-2111. That's 312-896-2111, or go to townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com.
Townstone Financial is an Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida, Illinois mortgage licensee, 6629 and NMLS 136639. Equal housing lender.
The door opens at Midlothian Music. And just like that, you're a customer for life. With their huge inventory of hundreds of guitars, drum kits, and string instruments, they've got you covered. Midlothian Music, the largest American-made selection of handcrafted, name-brand instruments, lessons for every level of musician, and free lifetime in-house repair and service. Midlothian Music. After 54 years of success, they live and breathe music. Whether a beginner or a pro, Midlothian Music has the right equipment at the right price to make you a true rock star in your band or in your band. Talk to the pros in person 7 days a week. Midlothian Music, 708-403-3733, or visit midlothianmusic.com. That's midlothianmusic.com.
Are you living with prostate enlargement? Do you pee more often than you used to? Do you wake up to go? Be honest, is there a drop in your romantic life? Prostate problems don't go away on their own, so you need to call for a free bottle of Super Beta Prostate, the #1 non-prescription formula for your prostate. The ingredients are natural. With Super Beta Prostate, you'll have less urges to urinate, less waking at night, and an improvement in your romantic life, guaranteed. Try it for free. Pay only shipping and handling. Just call 1-800-317-7853. Super Beta Prostate is so powerful, you'd have to take 100 saw palmetto capsules to get the same active ingredient in just one Super Beta Prostate tablet. Stop running to the bathroom and call us now for your free bottle. Hurry, this free offer won't last. Just call 1-800-317-7853. That's 1-800-317-7853. 1-800-317-7853.
This is Sam Gilberto, president of American Embroidery and Screen Printing and American Marketing Products. We specialize in putting your logo on just about anything. Our focus is entirely on you, our customer. We want every customer experience to be outstanding. American Embroidery and Screen Printing is a brick-and-mortar business located in Glendale Heights. Our equipment and manufacturing processes are state-of-the-art, so are the people who work here. With over 40 years' experience, we have the capability, capacity, and know-how to get your job done right and on time. I want to earn your business, so for a limited time, we're offering free artwork on embroidery and screen printing orders for all new customers. Let us help you gear up for that at big trade show, provide shirts or jackets for all your employees, students, or church members, or simply provide you with giveaway items such as coffee mugs, pens, or hats. Whatever it is, you can trust an American to take care of it. It's easy to contact us. TrustAnAmerican.com. That's TrustAnAmerican.com, or call at 630-766-2825.
Now, more than ever, choosing a real estate agent to sell your home is one of the most important decisions you can make.
I'm Ed Lukasik Jr., owner of RE/MAX Professionals. I know what it takes to sell your home.
The Wall Street Journal ranked Ed at 88th in the entire country for closed listings.
I know that there's no gimmick to selling your home, just a strategic marketing plan and the confidence needed to make your transaction successful.
Chicago Agent Magazine recognized Ed as the #1 rank in Will County.
You can hire anybody to list your house, but you'll need the local market knowledge that I have to sell it.
When Ed saw market trends change, he was ready and promptly received a RE/MAX of Northern Illinois Trendsetter Award.
Sure, it takes awards, but it also takes a lot of effort. So why would you try to sell your home with a we'll sell your house or buy it from you kind of agent? If an agent has to promise to buy your listing, then something's seriously wrong.
Call Ed Lukasik Jr. of RE/MAX Professionals, 630-679-5454. That's 630-679-5454. Sell your house with the professionals, RE/MAX Professionals.
Imagine what you would do if your business had a surplus of utility savings. More than 30% of your building's annual energy use comes from your heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system. Air Comfort, Chicagoland's leading mechanical service provider, understands that you have better things to do with your money. There are new energy incentives offered by Chicagoland's largest utility provider that could help your business save hundreds, even thousands of dollars every month in utility costs. As a preferred partner, Air Comfort works closely with your business. They will identify the opportunities to reduce energy usage, select, purchase, and install equipment, and even help you complete and submit your incentive paperwork. Start saving on your utilities by calling now for your free consultation at 708-345-1900. That's 708-345-1900, or online at aircomfort.com. Air Comfort, a tradition of excellence since 1935.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, it doesn't stop at Mizzou. More copycat protests, students asking for presidents to resign. We'll have the story.
More and more schools Peyton and Eli can't go to. And then at 6:36, State Representative Tom Morrison joins us with an update on the turnaround agenda in Springfield and whether the governor's policy agenda is being compromised into oblivion.
But first, let's go back into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Here are the stories we're following right now. Powerful winds are battering the area. Metra approves a fare increase. Former Farragut High School basketball player Michael Wright has been found dead in Brooklyn. ISU graduation rate up. The Blackhawks are battling the Devils tonight. Very windy, a passing shower this morning, a high of 51. Outside, WIND Chicago News Time is 6 o'clock.
Fox News Radio, I'm Dave Anthony. The racial tension at the University of Missouri that led to protests that led to the school's president resigning is spreading. Those are Ithaca College students in New York demanding President Tom Rochon resign, planning a vote of no confidence later this month, and there are similar protests in solidarity with minority students at more than 20 colleges this week, including Harvard and Yale. 2 college students in Missouri are facing charges accused of threatening to shoot black people. Iraqi Kurds are fighting to get ISIS out of a strategic town and claim to have retaken a road outside Sinjar that's a key supply line for the Islamic militants between Iraq and Syria. The battle started this morning. The U.S. has supported the Kurds with at least 20 airstrikes. We're learning more about the deadly American airstrike that hit a hospital in Afghanistan. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
U.S. soldiers were reportedly in the blind when they struck the Doctors Without Borders-run hospital in Afghanistan. The AP reports the soldiers who called in the airstrike were a half-mile away, could not see the target, and ordered the attack at the request of Afghan partners, who were reportedly upset that doctors there were also treating members of the Taliban. At least 30 non-combatants died in the attack, which Doctors Without Borders has called a war crime. The Pentagon has said it was a mistake. Dave.
Rachel, 113 women in 28 states are suing Qualitest, a subsidiary of Endo Pharmaceuticals, over birth control pill packaging problems.
Asking for millions of dollars to cover the costs of delivering, raising, and even educating the children born as a result, even college.
Fox's Anna Koyman.
Women were taking a sugar pill or a reminder pill when they should have been taking the contraceptive. Well, the Food and Drug Administration immediately issued a recall, pulling more than 3 million packages off the shelves.
2 more people have died in Romania from the nightclub fire last month that's now killed 53 people, sparking mass protests and the collapse of the Romanian government. Fox News Radio. Fair and balanced.
42 degrees in Chicago at 6:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. National Weather Service says winds have knocked down trees and power lines across northern Illinois. About 6,000 customers of ComEd are without power this morning after sustained winds began blowing overnight at 30 mile an hour with gusts up to 45. Winds forced the closure of the Chicago Skyway Bridge, and strong winds have pushed back overnight closures on Lakeshore Drive, and construction has been set back there. Chicago police are searching for a person of interest after a 2-year-old Rockford boy's remains were found in a Garfield Park lagoon. Kieran Knox disappeared in August, was not reported missing until September. Authorities announcing earlier this month that DNA testing of the dismembered body parts did show a match with the child. It's going to cost a lot more for suburbanites to ride the Metra Rail commuter line, as AM 560's David Stewart reports.
The fare is increasing between 1% and 8%, depending on how far someone travels and on whether a rider buys a one-way ticket, a 10-ride pass, or the most common monthly pass. This fare hike is part of a 10-year schedule of increases totaling 68% that will generate $2.5 billion for modernizing the rail fleet and for installing a federally required safety system. Last year's increase was 11%, so by comparison, Metro Board Chairman Martin Oberman called this new hike, quote, pretty modest. It kicks in February 1st. David Stewart, Chicago.
University of Illinois trustees are set to vote on a resolution urging state lawmakers to end an impasse and pass a budget. Authorities are investigating after a former Chicago high school basketball player, Michael Wright, was found dead in Brooklyn, New York. He was discovered Tuesday with a head wound inside his SUV. You may recall Wright. He played at Farragut Academy in the 1990s with Kevin Garnett and Ronnie Fields and was a standout at the University of Arizona. This morning, Kenosha police are holding a 65-year-old man after a stabbing at an assisted living facility that killed one resident there and injured another. Chicago sports, college football. Northern Illinois, a winner right here on AM 560 last night over Buffalo in the MAC, 41-30. New Jersey and the Blackhawks meet tonight on the ice. The news, a service of the city of Chicago and Cook County. Help keep our community safe. Call 855-RPRT-2S4 if you see something. Say something from the Chicago Office of Emergency Management and Communications and the Cook County Department of Homeland Security. 6:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager isn't a two-state advocate for Israel.
If you believe that if Israel abandoned the Palestinian territories, A, it would be run by Hamas, B, Islamic State would enter, and you would have, interestingly, mass slaughter of Palestinians as well as mass war with Israel. Any of you who advocate Israel pulling out now are advocating a mass murder.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
The following is a paid political announcement.
I'm Willie Wilson, candidate for President of the United States. As your president, I will make sure that there is equal pay for women.
Paid for by Willie Wilson 2016.
Attend the Chicago Military Collectible Show Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Odeum Expo Center on Villa Avenue in Villa Park. For details, visit militarypromotions.info.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, a family tradition since 1897.
I know you've heard the IRS has the right to freeze your assets, garnish your wages. Good news is they can also give you a way out called the Fresh Start Initiative, a tax debt compromise program designed to save you serious money. Optima is the nation's leading tax resolution firm. Over 300 professionals to help ensure you pay the minimum, not a penny more. Thousands call every month. You can call right now. Optima. That's Latin for cut me some slack.
Call 800-936-9033. 800-936-9033.
Optima Tax Relief.
6:06. Let's get an update on the roads now in our Chicago RadioDeals.com traffic center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. As you mentioned, the Chicago Skyway is closed between 92nd and 106th near the state line due to the high winds and blowing debris on the Skyway Bridge. That is causing additional traffic to head to the Bishop Ford Freeway. It's very slow from Sibley to the Rhine. We're looking at about 32 minutes from 80-94 to the merge. I-57 with a 5-minute delay, 107th to the Rhine. And the Rhine is 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. The Eden's still fine. Kennedy, about 21 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Up on 22, Eisenhower inbound at Mannheim. There's a crash off the entrance ramp from northbound Mannheim. Looking at 36 minutes, Thorndale to downtown. Up on 33, Stevenson, 42 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. There's a high wind ban on the Indiana Toll Road. No triple tractor trailers or high profiles, oversized loads. Traffic service of the Milwaukee Airport. With all the major U.S. airlines, great fares, lots of non-stops, and parking as low as $7 a day. The Milwaukee Airport makes travelers happy even before they check in. Visit flymke.com. Learn why Milwaukee's airport is the O'Hare alternative. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte at AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center. Air Comfort is your commercial HVAC solution provider. Here is our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Wind advisory in effect until 6 p.m. this evening. Winds gusting past 50 miles per hour today with a passing morning shower. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and cooler. Winds will be locally damaging, high 51. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
42 right now at O'Hare, 45 along the lakefront, 37 in Aurora. Next news, 6:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by American Embroidery and Screen Printing, now offering free artwork for new customers. Call 630-766-2825.
Good morning. Welcome to your Thursday morning briefing. Here's what you need to know to start your day.
In a race defined by personalities, GOP candidates are fresh off a debate dominated by policy instead.
How is it conservative to add $1 trillion in military expenditures?
We can't even have an economy if we're not safe.
Spike Lee was candid, frank, and did not avoid any question about all the controversy surrounding Chirac. And despite all the uproar, Lee says Chirac is a serious film with a little comedy that's designed to shake up the status quo.
Do you think Jennifer Hudson will accept this role with some BS? Come on.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Talking about college campuses in the wake of the unrest at Mizzou and Yale and elsewhere, including Ithaca College. We'll get to that in a second. But I wanted to point out that there are some adults left on college campuses in positions of authority, at least one.
Where?
This is at Purdue University, West Lafayette.
Why are you talking like Donald Trump?
I'm doing my...
I'm sorry. Not Donald Trump.
Hillary
Forrest Gump.
Oh, well, I'm doing my Hillary Clinton impersonating.
Oh, okay.
Based on the local dialect. Mitch Daniels, you remember him from such things as being the governor of Indiana.
I do.
Well,
he had a starring role.
He did. He's the president of Purdue University now. And he spoke up yesterday about the children's revolt at Yale in Missouri in a letter he penned to the Purdue community. Here's kind of the pertinent quote from the letter.
Do you want the Purdue fight song playing while you read this?
I do not.
Okay.
I don't think the Purdue fight song deserves to be playing until Mitch Daniels puts together a bit of football team.
Oh, okay.
And Matt Painter, by the way, I'll tell you what, he better have a good year too.
Oh, okay.
I think the goodwill for Matt Painter is running out at Purdue. But I digress.
You're on notice, okay?
Yeah. Here's from Mitch Daniels' letter. Events this week at the University of Missouri and Yale University should remind us all of the importance of absolute fidelity to our shared values. First, that we strive to constantly be, without exception, a welcoming, inclusive, and discrimination-free community where each person is respected and treated with dignity. Second, to be steadfast in preserving academic freedom and individual liberty. 2 years ago, a student-led initiative created the We Are Purdue Statement of Values, which was subsequently endorsed by the University Senate. Last year, both our undergrad and grad student governments led an effort that produced a strengthened statement of policies protecting free speech. What a proud contrast to the environments that appear to prevail at places like Missouri and Yale. Today and every day, we should remember the tenets of those statements and do our best to live up to them fully. So there you go. Mitch Daniels essentially outlining this radical idea that you can have a commitment to free speech and open debate on a college campus or in a free society more generally, and also a commitment to tolerance. Those things are not mutually exclusive. This is shocking. I know. I hope no one from Concerned Student 1950 is hearing this, because I know how delicate their ears are, and I wouldn't want to be accused of a microaggression or need to create a safe space on the airwaves for them. But that's essentially the point. Is that a ridiculous idea? I don't think so.
312-642-5600. Did he pen that letter as a proactive move? Or he just wanted to state the obvious, just in case they were thinking about staging a protest and overthrowing him for some reason?
No, I don't think he was fearful of that at all. There's no indication of any such unrest or problems at Purdue. The issue was using the moment to, using the moment as a teaching moment to say, you see what's going on. We're all talking about it. And let's remember what Purdue is and does. And let's remember that despite some of the back and forth you hear, or some of the cynical ways that the what's going on at these campuses is covered by the media, remember what our shared values are. And remember that free speech and open debate are not inconsistent with tolerance. In fact, they go hand in hand. They're not in conflict with one another. That was Mitch Daniels' point, and it was a point to differentiate Purdue, and frankly, probably a recruiting tool, because anybody who was thinking about sending their kids to Missouri or Yale or so many other college campuses, now they know there's an adult who's the university president at Purdue and is fostering an environment of shared values consistent with the foundational values of this country. Maybe I want to send my kid to Purdue, especially if he or she has a particular interest in engineering.
I think that'd be good, but
not an interest in football, because that team is just terrible. That program is
but I want to tell you, the Mizzou fallout and intolerance hasn't ended at Mizzou. Yeah, they've taken down the tents after death threats against African Americans. It was on social media, but those were no credible threats according to the MUPD campus police. But one professor, well known, I want to tell you about, Dale Brigham. He has a nutrition class. A lot of freshmen take his class. Very well known. Students love him. My nephew, not to keep talking about him, but he described him as one of the best professors he's had. Super enthusiastic. Well, during all this chaos yesterday, when social media was abuzz with death threats and the KKK on campus, which was a bunch of BS, Dale Brigham, he's a white professor. He wrote out an email challenging his students to come to class, because a lot of kids weren't coming to class. A lot of businesses, retail businesses were shut down. But he said, come to class to prevent the bullies from winning. Quote, if you don't feel safe coming to class, then don't come to class. I will be here, and there will be an exam administered in our class. If you give in to bullies, they win. The only way bullies are defeated is by standing up to them. If we cancel the exam, they win. If we go through with it, they lose. I know which side I'm on. You make your own choice. And that angered so many students. And because they saw him saying bullies, they defined that as blacks. Don't let the blacks win. When he really wrote, don't let the bullies win. Don't be afraid. Come to class. And he submitted his resignation yesterday because of all of the hate emails that he got and social media. Certain students were attacking him. And he just said, you know what? I'm done. Here's my resignation.
Yeah, here was an email exchange between Dale Brigham, the professor, nutritional science professor you referred to, and one of the students who took him to task. This is in the Daily Caller. Tori Dawson emailed him, how can tell a student to face to bullies when, I'm reading verbatim. This is her email. How can tell a student to face to bullies when there are threats that he will die? as well as fellow black students, ! He is in fear for his life, and you are telling him to still risk his life to come to your, all caps, class to take a test, ? Are you kidding, ? These aren't bullies we are talking about. Professor Brigham responded, the exam is canceled. Our students will be able to take the exam at an alternate date with no loss of points. No one will have to come to class today, and I'm resigning my position.
Oh, my gosh.
That was his response.
And people wrote, our lives are in danger. Who are you to tell us this is very scary? I don't want to even touch campus. I don't even want to leave my house. And then somebody else wrote, he's just doing his job. But as a student of color, I am torn.
Yeah.
Too much power for the little kiddies? Yes. They're bringing down not only presidents, but well-known professors that are beloved by the students.
Well,
that are accomplished professors that actually care, that show up at lecture. My nephew said he's the only person, when he gives a lecture, I don't look at my cell phone. I pay attention the whole entire hour because he's so captivating and he's so good at his job.
Well, there's an interesting piece in National Review Online today by Jonah Goldberg talking about the science of this a little bit. Is this political correctness? His point is we have a bunch of fragile children on college campus because of politically correct parenting, helicopter parenting.
So it's our fault.
Well, it is.
It could be.
And as he writes at the end of his piece, this generation, this is the generation the mandarins of political correctness have been waiting for, these fragile children. Listen to this example, what he's giving. He writes, the rise in helicopter parenting and the epidemic of everyone gets a trophy education are another facet of the same problem. We are raising millions of kids to be smart and kind, but also fragile. Consider, children are hardwired to play. That's how we learn. But what happens when play is micromanaged? He cites a St. Lawrence University professor, Stephen Horwitz, who argues that it actually undermines democracy. Something as simple as tag in the schoolyard or pick up basketball in the park. It's a complicated thing. It requires young people to negotiate rules among themselves without the benefit of some third-party authority figure. These skills are hugely important in life. When parents or teachers short-circuit that process by constantly intervening to stop bullying or just to make sure that everyone plays nice, Horowitz, the St. Louis University professor, argues, we're taking away a key piece of what makes it possible for free people to be peaceful, cooperative people by devising bottom-up solutions to a variety of conflicts. So it's actually what you see on college campuses isn't the political correctness of our time on college campus. It's a new iteration of it because of the politically correct that graduated and then infused their parenting with political correctness that now produces a generation of fragile children who need safe spaces and trigger warnings to hear, kind of any discordant note. It's a really interesting piece. I encourage you to check it out. Rico and Addison, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, good morning, Dan and Amy. I wanted to ask you a question. Wouldn't you agree that there is racism going on, but it's anti-white racism?
Yes, there's certainly some of that. If you believe that can even exist, there's some in the kind of the radical left Black Lives Matter movement who would suggest that white racism can't exist because of the white power structure that's predicated on white supremacy and blah, 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 blah.
I hate when people say there's no such thing as reverse racism.
I know, but they say it.
They do. The guy I was married to, he was Puerto Rican. He always used to say, there is no such thing as reverse racism because your people weren't enslaved. I'm like, well, my people, actually, if you look at it, the Swedes were the Norwegian slaves, and we had to work the farmland.
So there's no racism against Puerto Ricans then either, because the Puerto Ricans weren't enslaved. If he's referring to slavery in America.
That's it's a very good point.
Yeah,
I'm not going to revisit that issue with them.
No, I'm not suggesting you do so.
Let that one
yeah,
go.
I was just, but the
just
whole
repeat things that they tell me.
And everybody wants to crowd out other people from being victims because I'm the victim. And this goes to the fragility that Jonah Goldberg was writing about. I want to get to Ithaca College because as we predicted this week, you're going to see copycats of this after Tim Wolf resigned because now you've empowered other children on other college campuses to revolt, and it's happening.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Word for the day is wind. We're going to have 35 to 50 mile per hour gusts right now, 27 mile per hour gust winds out in the suburbs. A high today of 51 degrees. That's after a morning shower. And then tomorrow the wind continues. We'll have some sunshine and clouds mixing together. A lot cooler, a high in the mid-40s. Let's get the travel times. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy. That wind means a wind ban on the Indiana Toll Road till 6 p.m. for any triple tractor trailers, high-profile doubles, or oversized loads. And those winds may be even stronger in LaPorte County. We're saying gusts up to 60. There's a wind warning there. Chicago Skyway still closed between 92nd and 106th. Due to the winds and blowing debris, that means more traffic on the Bishop Ford. Stop and go from past 159th to the Ryan. 36 minutes from 80-94 to the Merge. I-57 at 21 minutes from I-80 to the Ryan. And the Ryan is 25 minutes 95th to downtown. Eden's 24 minutes Lake Hook to Montrose. Kennedy, 26 minutes either way between O'Hare and downtown. The Ike, 40 minutes, Thorndale to the Loop. Up on 33. Stevenson is 42 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Jim Talamonte, ChicagoRadioDeals.com Traffic Center.
Ann B. Davis's bowling ball is taking me to task on my Matt Painter comments at Purdue. Ann B. Davis's bowling ball, apparently a Purdue grad. Purdue has their best recruit since Glenn Robinson, and Painter rejected more money from Missouri to stay at Purdue. Well, good for Matt Painter. I'm a Matt Painter fan. I'm just saying, Ann B. Davis's bowling ball. He's got to win. We're at the good old days of Gene Cady. The Gun Safety Guy's mission is pure and simple: to help good people safely enjoy recreational shooting and improve their ability to protect themselves and their family responsibly. This is what Pastor Ed Bryant, the Gun Safety Guy, has built for you and your family. Pastor Bryant's background enables him to communicate with all of his students, no matter what their age, gender, or ability. New shooters learn the fundamentals, experienced shooters develop their skills, and above everything, all shooters are taught to value safety first. Family-friendly firearms instruction is the core of the Gun Safety Guy, and I took his pistol class, and it was very good. I think the others in the class would say the same thing. As a kind of an intermediate-level shooter, I learned a lot, and when the Gun Safety Guy says safety is the centerpiece of his instruction, it truly is. I'm looking forward to taking more of his classes. So give the gift of firearm safety this holiday season. Gift certificates are available. Learn more at thegunsafetyguy.com. Thegunsafetyguy.com is the website. Family-friendly firearms instruction with NRA-certified instructor Pastor Ed Bryant, thegunsafetyguy.com. And he's a proud sponsor of Freedom Summit 2015. Like him on Facebook.
Honey, it's official. I'm running for office. Bob Bunn is going to run.
But the election is around the corner. You haven't even begun.
Hey, be nice, hun. I went to electiongraphics.us. They designed this sharp logo and are printing everything we need to help win votes. Walk cards, door hangers, yard signs, flyers, banners, even these awesome buttons.
Ooh, how fun.
Electiongraphics.us. I even had them take my campaign photo. Here it is. What do you think?
Bob Bunn, your face beams like the sun.
Electiongraphics.us works with you to develop the visual message of your campaign, whether it be local, state, or national in scope. Electiongraphics.us works with your existing graphics or can help design eye-catching brand and visuals that will deliver your message. Electiongraphics.us will ensure that your brand and message are clean, consistent, and clear.
Bob Bunn, you've won!
Without electiongraphics.us, I couldn't even have begun.
Electiongraphics.us, 847-224-8757. That's 847-224-8757.
Are you or someone you know facing foreclosure? Losing the family home? Well, you'd be not alone, so please listen to this. There are a lot of issues in a foreclosure, legal issues, factual issues. Dozens so far, and more coming to light every day. You see, people, we are in the aftermath of what will go down in history as the greatest financial crime in history, from which a lot of people profited immensely. And these people did not always do things entirely legally. That is a foregone conclusion. I'm Lou Bridges. I put together a law firm dedicated to foreclosure defense and to avoiding foreclosure by working with the banks, based on a thorough examination and analysis of all the potential issues and questions. And we have surrounded ourselves with people equally committed to this pursuit of justice.
Call 224-513-1231. That's 224-513-1231. Or visit FightIllinoisForeclosures.com. That's FightIllinoisForeclosures.com. Get real answers from a real foreclosure defense firm and discover the legal tools at your disposal.
AM 560, The Answer.
Yeah,
I got to go get my list.
that's the music for the lead-in, as it were, for us to discuss $60,000 a year daycare centers. And
I like that.
This one is Ithaca College.
Oh, I got to put that on my list. Here I go. All right.
Here's the students. Tom Roshan, if you hear that name, Tom Roshan is the Ithaca College president.
Tom Roshan! Tom Roshan!
Yeah, so they're chanting this big student rally. Tom Rochon, the president of Ithaca College, has got to go.
Why?
Tom
What did he
Rochon,
do?
no confidence. A good question.
I mean, what did he do?
What
Because
did he
I've
do?
been searching and searching, even the Ethica Journal reports, wondering what he did.
Yeah.
Do we know?
Here it is.
Okay.
I'm quoting from the organizers of the protests against Tom Rochon. With University of Missouri's president stepping down, we demand Rochon do the same, as it is vital to fight against both covert and overt racism in all places of education and empowerment. So Tom Rochon didn't do anything. He just has to resign because Tim Wolf resigned. That's what the students are saying.
Oh, my gosh. And they had a die-in and a silent demonstration, and then they started cheering to try to get administrators to take their concerns seriously.
Yeah, a woman standing with POC, that would be people of color, at Ithaca College, said in front of the assembled masses, how can a campus dedicated to preparing us for the real world not actively foster growth to our consciousness of oppression and privilege?
I'm going to throw up.
$60,000 a year to go to Ithaca College.
What is she talking about?
Uh-huh.
Very
Tom
profound
Rochon,
rhetoric, but what is she saying?
why does he have to resign?
Why?
Because Tim Wolf resigned.
So stupid.
I mean, you know where this all starts? This all starts.
Oh, there.
You know where this all comes from?
Where does this come from?
This all started decades ago.
I'm laughing right now because online they're signing a free speech wall
Yes. Unironically, they're signing
with construction paper and crayons.
This goes back some 80 years when Coach Norman Dale was at Ithaca, as he explained to Miss Fleener, if you'll remember.
Norman Dale, coach of the Ithaca Warriors, was suspended.
I can't really explain that. It's been a number of years, and it still kind of goes around in my head. I slow it down. Sometimes I really think that I can stop my fist from hitting a boy's jaw. 1 second, everything I'd worked for, it's just all finished. Funny thing, too, he's the best kid that ever played for me.
Thanks a lot, Coach Norman Dale. White privilege. How many times are we going to pass the ball? 4.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Lex, CEO of Balance of Nature. At Balance of Nature, we believe in real communication. Whether you call into the office or hear a success story on the radio, you can be sure it's real, unsolicited, and unscripted conversation.
I had anemia. That's when I got on to Balance of Nature. Then when I came off it, I got anemia again. That's one of the reasons I got back on it. I said, you know what, let me call them up and let me start doing the right thing. I made a mistake by getting off it. I think this is a good product, and I'm going to just stick with it.
When you can give your body a full variety of 31 different fruits and vegetables in their 100% natural, whole food form, you receive the unmatched balance of nutrition. Call toll-free 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and be sure to enter promo code CHICAGO.
You've heard me talking about the new website, upstream-ideas.com. If you haven't checked it out yet, then you're missing thoughtful expository content you won't find anywhere else from those who've operated in the political and policy arenas. Each week, you can watch the latest episode of Against the Current. That's our long-form interview series with policymakers and opinion leaders, this week with Chicago broadcasting legend Bruce Dumont. You can also watch Illinois by the Numbers, our video series that breaks down Illinois one number at a time to explain what the policy challenges are, why we have them, and what we can do about them. And you can check out highlights from each Sunday's Illinois Rising program, which tackles state and local politics and policy with deep thinkers from the Illinois Policy Institute and Illinois Opportunity Project. At Upstream Ideas, questions are asked that don't get asked anywhere else. Points of view are heard that aren't heard anywhere else. No sacred cows. No punches pulled. It's all at upstream-ideas.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
And coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer,
We'll talk to State Representative Tom Morrison, Republican from Palatine, about the state of play with the budget impasse in Springfield. That's at 6:36.
but first let's go back into the newsroom and say good morning to Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, good morning. 25-mile-an-hour winds out of the south right now, 44 degrees. And college students across the country will march in protest of student loan debt. Demonstrations at several universities will take place as young people on campus push for what they call tuition-free public colleges and a minimum wage increase for some campus workers. Severe winds blasting the upper Midwest and Ohio Valley today.
It's been rough. It's slow going. 55 mile an hour from Kansas City. That's about all I could get. You just want to go, 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 but you can't.
Frank Dawson of Omaha, Nebraska says now he's more worried about something other than the snow.
Ice. I don't care what vehicle you're in. Icy roads. It's bad.
It's been bad. A powerful low-pressure system blowing over semis, damaging homes, knocking out electricity to thousands in Iowa, Missouri, and Nebraska. Winds here forcing the closure of the Chicago Skyway Bridge. ComEd reporting several thousand power outages on their outage map this morning, scattered across the northern Illinois. Meantime, the FAA is investigating laser strikes on airplanes in Dallas and on news helicopters in New York City. The FAA says 2 commercial jetliners and a private plane were hit when they were coming in to land at Dallas Love Field last night. University of Illinois trustees are set to vote on a resolution today urging state lawmakers to end their impasse and pass a budget. Commuters will pay more next year to ride Metra. Average increase of 2% was approved yesterday as part of the 2016 budget. And a federal jury in Seattle has awarded $21.5 million in damages to an Illinois man injured by an automatic sliding glass door on a cruise ship. Seattle Times says the verdict includes $16.5 million in punitive damages. Now, attorneys argued dozens of other passengers have been injured by the doors on Holland America cruises. The company denies the claim and is asking the court to reduce the judgment, and it will appeal. College football last night right here on AM 560. Northern Illinois beat Buffalo 41-30. On the ice tonight, New Jersey and the Blackhawks on the gridiron in the NFL, Jets and Bills. The news, a service of the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. It's 3 p.m. School's out for America's kids. And when school's out, clubs are in. It's time to support Boys and Girls Clubs. Visit greatfutures.org. 6:33 is our time. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity calls out Hillary Clinton's lie.
We were shown evidence that proved
beyond any shadow of a doubt
that she and the president and other people that run this country right now lied repeatedly about the cause of the attack on the American diplomatic compound in Libya.
The Sean Hannity Show, afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Stop into your nearest Lowe's store today and see why their newest wet-dry vac is clearly different. Shop Vac, genuine American original.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. You know, nothing frustrates me more than liberal hypocrisy. Take our food, for example. You know, the left claims to care about the poor and the environment, but guess what? They're waging a silent war against America's farmers that is making our food supply more costly and less sustainable. America's family farmers are producing more food using less land and fewer resources than ever before. Now, they should be cheered, but instead, radical groups are working with government bureaucrats to crack down on our farmers and limit the tools and technology that they're allowed to use. Now, the result is higher food costs for you, the American consumer, and low-income families, they're hit the hardest. Now, thankfully, someone is fighting back. Protect the Harvest is a national coalition working to defend modern American agriculture. You can check them out at protecttheharvest.com and follow them on Facebook to get the very latest news and see how you can help. Don't let radical activists control your family's food choices. Visit protecttheharvest.com today.
6:35, let's get an update on the roads in our ChicagoRadioDeals.com traffic center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. The Chicago Skyway remains closed between 92nd and 106 due to high winds and debris on the Skyway Bridge. That's causing additional traffic to take the inbound Bishop Ford Freeway. It's jammed from 159th to the Ryan. 50 minutes, 80-94 to the Verge. I-57 at 36 minutes from I-80 to the Ryan. From the Ryan, it's 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. Eden's inbound 30 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose outbound 20. Kennedy, 32 minutes, O'Hare to downtown outbound 35. In Von Eyck, 47 minutes, Thorndale to the post office, now on 43 minutes. The Stevenson, 50 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Right before Lakeshore Drive, there is a closure of the left lane due to a huge pothole that's caused some flat tires. Northbound Tri-State stop and go 115th to 75th, and it's heavy at 290. Traffic service of TrueCar. Save time and money by downloading TrueCar's mobile app. Configure the new car you want and see what others paid for it. Lock in guaranteed savings from TrueCar certified dealers in your area. Most users save over $3,000 off MSRP. Save time, save money, and never overpay. Download the TrueCar app today. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center. Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solution provider. Very windy day, passing morning shower. Some of those winds could be damaging. I-51. 42 at O'Hare. Next news at 7. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. On AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour Radio Show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560 The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshale Financial Group.
If you're talking about it, I'll be talking about it. Dennis Prager here. Join me this morning at 11, right here on AM 560 The Answer.
Dan and Amy, so there's some goings-on in Springfield. Next week, November 18th, there's that public meeting between the governor and legislative leaders to talk about the budget stalemate because Democrat legislative leaders sent the governor a unconstitutionally unbalanced, to the tune of $4 billion out of balance, a budget, and Governor Runner ain't going to sign it. Some movement this week, some compromises on unemployment insurance in the state, compromises on
child care
cuts, the governor walking back in some of the proposed cuts, although he did essentially raise the income requirement in order to access some state child care services. So what is going on? How to make sense of the balance of power in Springfield? To help us with that, we're now joined by State Representative Tom Morrison, Republican from Palatine. Tom, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
So how should we look at this week's developments on unemployment insurance and child care cuts? Do we see the governor continuing to kind of compromise away component parts of his turnaround agenda such that there won't be anything left by the time we do get a budget?
Well, I mean, that's my concern. The governor clearly was elected by the majority of the people to make major changes in the state. And he said right from the get-go, I would be willing to talk about additional taxes, but we've got to have some serious reforms, both for how we operate government at the local level, at the state level, and also we have to improve the business climate. But aside from those reforms, I don't want to talk about tax increases. And yet all we've seen for the last 11 months is Democrats saying we need more taxes.
Well, tell me about this dance that they're doing in these compromises that they've made.
Well, just this past week, so we had a child care assistance program, and then also we saw some movement on the motor fuel tax money that gets distributed to municipalities, and also 911 money. And so the governor was willing to compromise on those things, and we didn't finalize those issues, but I think it shows that he's been willing to compromise.
And some of the other matters as well with respect to the governor's discussions of workers' comp reform, property tax freeze, term limits.
There's been
reform.
no movement on any of those issues.
And so what's the what is anticipated that's going to come out of this public meeting on November 18th? Is this some kind of dog and pony show for both sides to try and score political points, or is this going to be a meaningful dialogue that leads somewhere?
Well, this is Illinois, Dan. I don't think that this is going to be a meaningful dialogue. I don't see that happening. Summer long, we saw dog and pony shows. There was a dog and pony show yesterday, and 2 days ago when we were in Springfield. These committees of the whole, where we get the entire General Assembly in the chamber and hear hours and hours of testimony on how Governor Rauner and his staff are such bad people and heartless and all this kind of stuff. That's what Madigan has been pushing all summer long, and most of us are sick of it because we see the consequences of not having a budget, the instability, the chaos, and the master of chaos has been Mike Madigan throughout all of this.
And with respect to the governor and Republicans, do you think that through this months-long impasse now, the governor and Republican legislative leaders, have they leveraged the bully pulpits that they have to effectively communicate what's happening to the public so they're kind of brought along in this process?
Well, that's a good point, and I really try to reach out to my constituents and ask, what do you think of this situation? What do you want me to do as your representative down there? And had two meaningful conversations with people who said, I elected Bruce Rauner because I wanted him to fix this. I want him to get on the bully pulpit. I want him to remind voters he was brought from the outside to fix this mess. And the ones who are standing in the way are Mike Madigan and John Cullerton. He needs to be saying that louder and clearer and more often. And no, the media is not going to report it accurately. Well, your station is an exception, Dan and Amy, but for most media outlets, they're not going to report it the way it needs to be said. And there's too much sympathy for the status quo in the state. But the voters don't want nothing of it.
As a lawmaker, how do you feel about bailing out Chicago public school system yet again? Because if we don't get funding or get help, we're going to have to lay off some 5,000 teachers by the beginning of next year.
Well, the Chicago public schools for decades, it's been a catastrophe, and it's been self-inflicted. And no, there's just not a whole lot of sympathy from our side for the problems that they have caused and for the reforms that they have blocked.
That is a proper amount of sympathy. Not very much.
There we go.
Yeah. Speaking of schools, Palatine District 211 and their little fight with Department of Education with respect to that one student a male student who identifies as a female student. $6 million in federal funding potentially on the line if 211 doesn't go along. I know this is a local school board and stakeholder question, but you're a state representative that covers that constituency. What's
let
your
me
view
say
on
one
it?
thing about Friend. Friend had a very moving Veterans Day ceremony yesterday, and it was so incredible to be part of that. There were probably 36 veterans on the middle of the gym floor, and the students just gave minutes after minutes of rousing cheers and applause and thanks for their service to our country. So, there are some good things happening in Friend High School in District 211. This is one where actually the school board is doing the right thing and listening to parents and standing up for the concerns and the civil rights and the privacy rights of the other students who don't want to be forced to share a locker room with unrestricted access with another student frankly, with male anatomy.
But $6 million is nothing to poo-poo. Where are they going to make up for that lost revenue?
Well, first of all, that's not a done deal. I'm sure that there will be a court case. I'm sure that there will be appeals. We don't know what's going to happen with that. I'm just encouraging members of the Northwest, constituents in the Northwest suburbs. Reach out to your school board members. Thank them for the stand that they've taken. Thank the administration for the stand that they've taken. And then get a hold of your Congress members. Peter Roscom represents this area. Tammy Duckworth represents this area. Get them on board because this is mainly a federal issue, not so much a state issue.
Right. And getting back to the state issues, the question, as you said at the outset, Governor Rauner saying at the beginning, I'm willing to have a discussion on revenue, but it requires that you are willing to move on structural reforms. If there is not meaningful structural reform, and, I'm not talking about trumpeting the incremental as transformative like Rahm Emanuel does, not falling for that kind of ruse that we see in Chicago all the time. But if there's not meaningful structural reform, not press release reform, could you see yourself or the Republican caucus supporting a structural tax increase, even another temporary one, like a temporary increase in the state income tax?
I couldn't see myself doing that. I can't speak for all the members of the Republican caucus. I would say the majority would be with me, but this is a very diverse state, and you look downstate, central Illinois, southern Illinois, there are some districts that are represented by a Republican state rep or state senator, but they're very, very, very reliant on state jobs or, revenue sharing from Springfield. Whether they have a prison, whether they have a university, the Western Illinois, Southern Illinois, Eastern Illinois, Illinois State, they are very, very reliant on money that comes out of Springfield. And so those Republican reps just might be in a different position than I'm in. But my constituents want strong reforms. They're sick of the status quo. They want Illinois to be great again, and they know that means meaningful reform. And so for the most part, we want to stand behind what the governor is doing. Is he perfect? No, but I think he and his staff are doing an incredible job managing this state in a crisis created by Mike Madigan and John Cullerton.
All right, how do you see this ending?
Well, I mean, the closer we get to January, the vote threshold to pass the budget drops down to 60. So in all likelihood, that's where this is going to be. And also remember, this is still candidate filing time, and so there are a lot of candidates who could still run in the primary upcoming. So that kind of is an obstacle for reform in the immediate time frame.
Oh, wait a second. You're saying that there are legislators in Springfield who are looking at their own political self-interest and not focused on the resolution of this budget impasse?
I know.
I am
Dan,
stunned.
You're shocked. Stunned.
Wow.
Get off the floor, Dan. I know.
I'm going to have to stop referring to all of them as so well-intended, which I never do. Right, that's an important point, though. So the deadline for filing is the first week of December. So we shouldn't expect anything at least until after the filing deadline passes, because people don't want to generate a primary based on taking a tough position.
Well, let me put it this way: we go back down to Springfield on December 2nd.
Yeah, there you go. Right at the deadline. Right, of course. Tom Morrison, one final thing before we let you jump. Do you, when you talk to your constituents, because I've heard this from other Republican reps, particularly in the suburbs, how often do your constituents say, hey, Tom, I appreciate what you're doing. I'm going to support you. I'm going to continue to vote for you. And you're putting in the fight. But let me tell you something. 3 to 5 years, we're out of here anyway. So I've given up on Illinois. We're gone.
Oh, I hear it from some people, but I think it's diminishing. Those people who are still here.
Yeah.
Well, okay. All right. The people who are here don't want to move. I mean, the ones who are showing up at my events and supporting me, who are telling me that I'm doing a good job, and those there are a lot of allies I have down in Springfield. You've had many of them on your show. So this state is worth fighting for. It's a difficult thing to move. It's a difficult thing to move your business. And I know people that have moved their businesses, but those who are here, they know that they want to restore Illinois. And yeah, it's a tough road uphill, but the path is clear. And if we get enough citizens to wake up and get engaged and get involved, I think we can transform this state. That's what I'm working for, and that's what I hope others will join me in doing.
Well said. He is State Representative Tom Morrison, Republican from Palatine. Tom, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great day.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, wait until you hear how much the Veteran Affairs Department handed out in performance bonuses. Let's end that. But first, here's your forecast. Windy today. Wind gusts right now at 27 miles per hour. It's 44 degrees, going up to a high of just 51 degrees today. Hold on to your hats because we do have wind gusts of up to 50 miles per hour throughout the day. And locally damaging winds possible. Tonight, the wind continues, and tomorrow it will be windy with intervals of clouds and sunshine. Cooler, a high of 46. Let's get the travel times and how is the wind affecting the roadways. Here's Jim Talamonte with the answer.
Well, Amy, the Chicago Skyway is closed because of the wind and blowing debris on the Skyway Bridge. It's closed between 92nd and 106th near the state line. That's driving much more traffic to the Bishop Ford Freeway. The inbound delays start around 159th. It's 50 minutes from 8094 to the merge. I-57 at 36 minutes. And the Ryan, 25 minutes, 95th to the Loop. Eden's 30 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose to Kennedy, 32 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, up on 35. Yike, 48 minutes, Thorndale to downtown. Up on 43. The Stevenson really jammed from before First Avenue most of the way to Lakeshore Drive. On the ramp to northbound Lakeshore Drive, a huge pothole. There are flat tires. It is an hour and 14 minutes from 355 to the drive. 58 minutes from the Tri-State. Outbound, 50 minutes to 355. Tollways are getting heavier now, too. I'm Jim Talamonte, ChicagoRadioDeals.com Traffic Center. Now it's time for the Lou Dobbs Financial Report, brought to you by the Mutual Fund Store.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Economic reports today, corporate developments, and the Federal Reserve influencing action on Wall Street. Those stories next.
Health Markets Insurance Agency is the DBA of InFair Insurance Solutions Incorporated, licensed in all states. Product availability varies. Agents may be compensated on enrollment. Attention Americans eligible for Medicare. Medicare plans are changing. New plans are now available that could increase your benefits and lower how much you pay. At Health Markets, our free service can help you find the Medicare plan that's right for you without the guesswork. Even if you're currently enrolled in a Medicare plan, you may be paying more than you need to and missing out on important benefits. This year's Medicare plan changes could mean more coverage and lower costs, but enrollment is not automatic. Call Health Markets today and we'll search thousands of Medicare plans from leading insurance companies. Plans that may cost less and cover more, with lower copayments, more choices like dental and vision care, and the freedom to see the doctors you choose. Best of all, our service is free. Don't let the Medicare deadline pass. Call Health Markets and let us find the right Medicare plan for you without cost or obligation. Call 800-971-0385. 800-971-0385. 800-971-0385.
A number of factors driving stock market action on Wall Street today. Angie's List up double digits in extended trading. Interactive Corp offering to buy Angie's List for $500 million. NCR Corp also higher overnight. Private equity firm Blackstone looking to take a minority stake in the maker of ATMs. Investors also assessing reports on weekly jobless claims and available job openings. And the Energy Department's weekly report on gasoline and crude oil inventories will likely influence energy prices. The American Petroleum Institute's higher than expected reading on crude oil supplies driving prices to a more than 2-month low, crude under $43 a barrel. And investors monitoring comments from a number of Fed officials, including the Fed Chair Janet Yellen, who's talking about monetary policy and, of course, interest rates. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight at 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
So, I'm retiring today.
Freedom!
I hate goodbyes, so I've hired singers to follow me around and bid my coworkers farewell.
It's John's last day.
Okay, let's get started. Here's Tom.
Your pranks were amazing, despite what HR says.
Next, Susan.
Your homemade cookies blew his mind and diet.
Finally, Dave.
You never judged him for his popcorn burning.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss you guys.
Ready to give your swan song at work? The Mutual Fund Store can help. We'll sit down with you one-on-one to talk about your goals. Then we'll put a plan in place to help get you on track. Finally, we'll keep a close eye on your account to make sure you stay on track. Discover how within reach your retirement could be for you with a free portfolio review and consultation.
Hi, I'm Matt Personette with the Mutual Fund Store in Chicagoland. Call me at 888-498-3636 or visit mutualfundstore.com and let's talk about your financial goals today.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny'd been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org. A message from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids, where families find answers.
For more than 40 years, Steel has built outdoor power equipment here in America and sold its products to professionals and homeowners through servicing Steel dealers. Built in America, believing in America. That's Steel Strong.
Steel Strong. Running good #1. Steel Strong. Yeah, I'm feeling.
A majority of Steel products are built in the United States from domestic and foreign parts and components.
Steel Strong.
Find a dealer near you at steeldealers.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan, how can we end government bonuses? I mean, the VA, which did a subpar job.
Subpar. That's pretty charitable.
That's charitable. They doled out $142 million in performance-based bonuses.
This was in 2014. I assume this was before there was a congressional vote, unanimous, I believe, in the House to ban bonuses at least through 2016, because of the 307,000 veterans who died awaiting health care.
Yeah. Well, this was before, but the information was released last night on Veterans Day. Nice timing. Benefits, $900 went to an office in Philadelphia where investigators dubbed it the worst in the country last year. And this is my favorite. A manager in Omaha, Wisconsin, got $4,000, even though they oversaw the overprescription of opiates to veterans, and one of the people died.
Well, it's called reducing the caseload, so there's a benefit for that. Not to joke about it, but this is the lack of government accountability up and down the system, and this is what people are railing against when it comes to the ruling class and the VA. Despite even congressional action, these agencies operate outside the bounds of Congress, it seems, which is why you need a new president and a Congress that's more aggressive than the Republican-controlled Congress has been up until this point. This is a national disgrace, is what it is.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Selecting a dentist is an important decision. Don't trust it to just anyone. Here's Dr. Joel Akrush with Artistic Dentistry.
I don't like what I call cookie cutter dentistry. Not every patient should fit into that one treatment. We like to treat our patients. They have their own treatment, their own situation, their own health. Everything must play all together, and that patient gets their own treatment.
With more than 30 years of combined experience, the team at Artistic Dentistry understands that each patient's needs are different. Their state-of-the-art facility allows their team to address all your dental needs in one location, from regular dental checkups to customized dental implants. Let Artistic Dentistry give you the smile that you've always wanted. Schedule a free consultation today at 708-301-6060. That's 708-301-6060 or donewithdentures.com.
It's hard to believe the holidays are just around the corner, and if you're like me, you're already starting to decorate for the season. Before you start trimming that tree, though, I want you to call Executive Green Carpet Cleaning at 708-599-5151. There's still time to have your carpet and upholstery cleaned before you have family and friends over for holiday dinners and gift exchanges. Executive Green came to my house a few months ago, and my carpet still looks brand new. No stains or kitty marks where I'm putting my tree this year. Executive Green's cleaning process is safe for your entire family. They use their own purified water and a non-toxic solution that leaves no sticky, chalky residue. And their no-risk guarantee promises if you're not 100% satisfied, you will not pay for your service. So make your home beautiful for the holidays by scheduling now at 708-599-5151. That's 708-599-5151 or online at executivegreencarpetcleaning.com.
Experience tropical beauty on the island of Cozumel with Apple Vacations, where culture and nature are intertwined. You'll discover more than 200 species of tropical fish and miles of coral reef. Book your getaway during the Apple Vacations Super Sale and save on holiday and January travel. 7 nights at Malia Vacation Club start from only $9.99, or make it a full week at Sunscape Sub or Cozumel starting from just $11.79. Both trips include round-trip nonstop air, resort transfers, all meals, drinks, and taxes. Call Traveloni at 312-334-7876 to book your trip today. That's Traveloni, 312-334-7876. Or visit Traveloni.com. Hurry, best dates and hotels are going fast. Mexico, live it to believe it. Prices per person based on double occupancy for select departures starting January 9th, including charter air on Aeromexico for Mohair and taxes and fees, including September 11th security fees. See AppleVacations.com for baggage charges. Prices subject to availability and change. Restrictions apply. PC 15111.
Very windy day ahead with passing morning showers as powerful winds batter the upper Midwest and Ohio Valley. The latest from Fox on that story. Complete look at weather as well coming up. WIND Chicago News Time is 7 o'clock.
Fox News Radio. I'm Dave Anthony. ISIS under attack in Iraq. Iraqi Kurds have started an operation to drive the Islamic militants out of a key town. Fox's Jessica Gallagher live in our Middle East Bureau.
Dave, some 7,500 Peshmerga fighters, with the help of U.S.-led airstrikes, have launched a three-pronged attack to take back a strategic city from the Islamic insurgents. ISIS took over Sinjar last year, forcing thousands of ethnic Yazidis to flee and spurring the first bombing of the Islamic insurgents in Iraq by the U.S. Iraqi Kurdish fighters are targeting Sinjar because it's next to a major highway that's a supply route and primary line of communication between Mosul and Raqqa for ISIS. Dave.
Jessica, a war hero badly injured in Afghanistan, will be at the White House this morning to receive the Medal of Honor.
Florent Groberg was an Army captain in 2012 when he tackled a suicide bomber to save his patrol in Afghanistan's Komar province.
Fox's John Decker says Groberg needed 33 surgeries after his heroic act. The FBI's expanded its probe into Hillary Clinton's private emailing while the Democratic presidential frontrunner was Secretary of State. Sources tell Fox agents are looking into possible false statements made about the emails, and the FBI's on its own investigating what might have been classified information. The racial tension-filled protests that drove out the University of Missouri's president are spreading to more than 20 other campuses nationwide.
Everyone participate, but we hope.
That's at Ithaca College in New York, where students are also demanding their president resign over racial intolerance claims. Republican presidential candidate Ben Carson's alarmed.
It's okay to disagree with people, but it's not okay to try to destroy them. What we really need to do if we were mature is to be able to sit down, put on the table the rationale for our beliefs and discuss them.
Americans keep getting fatter. Despite all the efforts to get us to stop eating junk food and drinking soda, a government report out today says 38% of adults in the U.S. are obese, up from 32% a decade ago. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
Cloudy, 44 degrees, winds out of the south at 25 miles an hour. 7:02 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning, I'm Mike Scott. Winds have forced the closure of the Chicago Skyway Bridge. ComEd reporting several thousand power outages on their outage map this morning. Strong winds are pushing back overnight closures on Lakeshore Drive as construction may be delayed until Sunday or Monday night. An investigation is underway after an infant was found dead on the north side. The newborn was discovered last night outside a building in the 800 block of West Eastwood Avenue. The young child was pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. Chicago police are searching for a person of interest after a 2-year-old Rockford boy's remains were found in a Garfield Park lagoon. You may recall Kyrian Knox disappeared in August, but wasn't reported missing until September. Authorities announced earlier this month that DNA testing of the dismembered body part showed a match with the child. Commuters will pay more to ride the Metra train system next year. Average increase of 2% was approved yesterday as part of a 2016 budget. So, for example, a 10-ride ticket will jump $1.75, while a one-way ticket will cost you an extra quarter. Gary Mayor Karen Freeman Wilson this morning says it's a good idea to allow a Florida company to build and operate a for-profit detention center in that city. She'll appear at a forum next week with officials from Geo Group to explain the proposal, which she said would bring much-needed jobs to Gary. The proposal is controversial because the detention center will be used for people with immigration-related cases, including deportations. Chicago sports, college football right here on AM 560 last night. Northern Illinois over Buffalo 41-30. The news, a service of TrueCar. Save time and money by downloading TrueCar's mobile app. Configure the new car you want, then see what others paid for it and lock in guaranteed savings from TrueCar's certified dealers in your area. Users save over $3,000 off MSRP. Save time, money, never overpay. Download that TrueCar app today. 7:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
When all is said and done and the Obama administration rides off into the sunset, what one overwhelming theme will be the lasting impression? Here's one: asleep at the switch. While ISIS was making a rampage across the Middle East, we did nothing. While a Syrian dictator was killing 300,000 of his own people, we did nothing. When thousands of those same refugees came pouring across the border, we did nothing. Unfortunately, we were and still are asleep at the switch. So keep it here to learn what we can do about that. AM 560, The Answer.
You know the story of Hansel and Gretel, where Hansel left breadcrumbs on the trail so they could find their way back home? That's what you do when you use public Wi-Fi, or shop online, or give out your social security number at your doctor's office or the bank. You leave breadcrumbs on the trail for someone to possibly steal your identity and take everything you own. At LifeLock, we use proprietary technology to detect signs that someone has picked up your breadcrumbs to take what's yours. And unlike free credit monitoring services that only alert you, we have a dedicated resolution staff to help clean things up if all those breadcrumbs get messy. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses. But with LifeLock, you can keep doing the things you do every day and feel better protected. Isn't it time to help protect yourself from someone eating your financial lunch? Plans start at $9.99 a month. Right now, you can get 10% off. Go to lifelock.com and enter promo code NEWS.
7:06. Let's get an update on the roads in our ChicagoRadioDeals.com traffic center. The latest with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. On Metra's electric line, there's a train stop near 55th. There's a tree down on the track. So far, it's not affecting the inbound side. The Skyway is closed between 92nd and 106th near the state line. And traffic is forced off because of the high winds and blowing debris. There's a crash in Highland Park, southbound 41 at 22. The left lane is blocked. The big problem on the inbound Stevenson at Lakeshore Drive. The left lane is blocked with a huge pothole that caused flat tires. Traffic is jammed most of the way from before First Avenue. An hour and 17 minutes, 3:55 to the drive, 58 minutes from the Tri-State. Outbound 50 minutes to 3:55. Eden's 33 minutes, Lake Hook to Montrose, outbound 27. The Kennedy, 45 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 35. The Eisenhower, an hour. Thorndale to the Loop, outbound 47 minutes. The Ryan is 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 36 minutes. I-80 to the Merge. Bishop Ford, 55. Thanks to that Skyway closure, the tollways are heavy now, too. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center. Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solution provider. Here's our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Wind advisory in effect until 6 p.m. Winds gusting past 50 miles per hour today. A passing shower for the morning, otherwise mostly cloudy. Winds locally damaging, high 51. Partly cloudy and windy tonight with a low of 35. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
44 at O'Hare. Next news at 7:30. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Advanced Planning Advisors, bringing you Smart Money Talk with Mike Moylan and Rob Curvin, Saturday mornings at 6.
Good morning. Welcome to your Thursday morning briefing. Here's what you need to know to start your day.
In a race defined by personalities, GOP candidates are fresh off a debate dominated by policy instead.
How is it conservative to add $1 trillion in military expenditures?
We can't even have an economy if we're not safe.
Spike Lee was candid, frank, and did not avoid any question about all the controversy surrounding Chirac. And despite all the uproar, Lee says Chirac is a serious film with a little comedy that's designed to shake up the status quo.
Do you think Jennifer Hudson will accept this role with some BS? Come on.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning. What is up, Dan and Amy? Amy.
Dan.
You know there's nothing I love more in this world.
Than to cook?
No.
Clean?
No, than bacon.
Oh, bacon.
Yeah, bacon. And the global alarmists are trying to scare me out of eating bacon. They will not succeed, but I'm worried they may succeed with others. And so there was this piece in the Wall Street Journal.
Oh, I know. It scared me to death.
Julie Kelly from Orland Park.
OP.
She made it big. She's in the Wall Street Journal. And she's also nowyourcooking.net. She's an Eastern Illinois grad.
Nice.
But now she is deconstructing the junk science in the climate change movement as it relates to modern agriculture and food consumption, something that we haven't talked as much about, but bears a discussion, particularly with the president on his way to genuflect to the world on government control of our lives there in Paris. And Julie Kelly, the founder of NowYou'reCooking.net, joins us now. Julie, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hi, Dan and Amy. Thanks for having me.
So you penned this op-ed I referenced, The Climate Agenda Behind the Bacon Scare.
Mm-hmm.
Explain.
Well, everybody read the headlines the last few weeks. The IARC, which is the cancer agency under the World Health Organization, which is under the United Nations, came out with this very alarming report that red and processed meat may cause cancer. So the headlines, were said basically the same thing, even though once you look past the headlines, actually read the report and their backup documentation, the science and evidence behind it is really flimsy. Now, that didn't stop the agency from classifying processed meat, bacon, as you said, Dan, one of my favorites as well, bacon as a Category 1 carcinogenic. So that's alongside tobacco and UV rays and plutonium. And then red meat was a classification level 2A, which is possibly carcinogenic.
So wait, I just want to say, so bacon is tantamount to plutonium.
Well, here's the rub here. It's not, but it's in the same category. The IARC looks at cancer-causing agents or lifestyle or what you consume or eat, several of them every year. They've been doing this since about 1971. So they only have really 4 categories of classification. So even though they kind of backpedal a little bit and say that bacon is not the same carcinogenic level as plutonium, it's still in the same category. And I think it's intended, or it does, confuse people and alarms people. But that's what they wanted to do.
Well, in this study, how much processed meat would you have to eat a day to be considered a risk of getting colon cancer?
Right, great question. Let's take a step back. So when they say processed meat, they're talking about bacon, sausage, anything that's cured or smoked or salted. So it would be 50 milligrams per day, basically for your adult lifetime, and it would raise your risk according.
Dan's plotting out
but
his will right now.
So I eat my body weight in cured meat on a daily basis. That you're saying that's a problem.
Well, you're dying tomorrow, so it was nice talking to you.
I had a good run.
So how many pieces of bacon on it? Because that's what everyone was asking. How much bacon do I have to eat?
We're not Lincoln Chafee over here. You have to translate 50 milligrams into pieces for us.
Well, it would be about 5 or 6 pieces of bacon. It would be roughly about 1 hot dog, a few pieces of a few sausage links. But this would be every day. And all it would do, and there's still not a lot of science to even back up this claim. You have to keep in mind that these are reviews of other scientific studies. And so it's 50 milligrams per day for, say, 30 years would raise your risk of colon cancer from 2%, which is the average risk for any adult, from 2 to 2.4% if you consume that much processed meat every day.
So, that data really kind of underscores how silly the hysteria is. Even if you were on the extreme end of consumption, the increased risk is infinitesimal.
It is, Dan, and they even admit, the head of this program who released this study, even admitted in a press release that the risk of getting colorectal cancer from processed meat is small. The evidence behind red meat is even more specious because that is at 100 milligrams per day of consumption. And so only half of the studies that they reviewed showed any kind of correlation. Now, this is not hard evidence. It's just correlation between high red meat consumption and colorectal cancer. And that's really the only cancer that they linked to. They gave a passing mention to stomach cancer, prostate cancer, but they had no evidence to back that up either.
We're talking to Julie Kelly. She is a cooking instructor and food writer who lives here in Orland Park. She's also the founder of NowYou'reCooking.net. She had this very interesting piece in the Wall Street Journal we're discussing. And one of the things you intimated in your op-ed was that the real play here is to go after modern forms of agriculture. Explain.
Well, as you know, and Dan, you alluded to, the huge climate change conference is scheduled to begin November 30th in Paris. And the agriculture sector, livestock production in particular, has long been a target of environmental activists. And this has been on the agenda of environmental activists and the climate change folks for a long time. There was a World Health Organization report released earlier this year before this cancer study that specifically targets our agriculture and mentions red and processed meat in particular, that the production of meat is a major driver of greenhouse gas emissions and, of course, methane emissions. And the World Health Organization listed as a high priority changing the dietary habits of people in order to reduce meat consumption because that's better for the planet. They also alluded to some really weak findings about correlations, deaths attributed to the consumption of red and processed meat. But this is a target of a climate change agenda. And so what better way to boost your case than to tell people 8 weeks before this climate change conference, not only is meat bad for the planet, meat production, meat consumption will kill you.
So the government's trying to control what we eat and tell us what to and what to not eat.
Yes, they are. And it's largely a scare campaign, as you know, Amy. I mean, it's not just meat consumption. You know, they target things like GMOs, which are also perfectly safe. They're trying to persuade us to eat organic food, even though there's no scientific evidence that is a better way to eat. I refer to them as the culinary elitists. And these are people who don't live in the real world like we do, who are trying to tell us what to eat because it fits their political philosophy.
And so that organic thing you think is a bunch of bunk because a gallon of organic milk is $8.99.
You know, I would love.
And I can't afford that, and a lot of us can't.
You don't need to.
He doesn't have children that suck back, 5 gallons a week.
I'm the one playing video games, not my children.
Right.
Well, and Amy, to your point, there are a lot of moms out there. We all want to feed our families the best, the healthiest food possible. When you're told and you're misled that organic food is better, even though it's more expensive, and there's no evidence to back that up, we feel that economic pressure to spend more money on food that you don't need to. Organic milk is not healthier. It's not more nutritious. It's not safer for the planet. Organic food production also uses pesticides and herbicides, but we are really being sold a bill of goods.
You're a better mom if you buy organic.
I can't. This is
no, seriously,
this is great. I'm gonna run into the Whole Foods in my neighborhood today. And say, you're a bunch of dopes, and you can have this bacon when you pry it from my cold, dead, cancer-riddled hand.
Well, you can get their turkey uncured bacon for, $16.99 a pound or something. And you'll feel better about yourself.
John Mackey's a liar. All right, Julie Kelly, she is a cooking instructor and food writer here in Orland Park. I encourage you to check out this op-ed. It's very good. The climate agenda behind the bacon scare in the Wall Street Journal.
Yes.
And she's the founder of NowYou'reCooking.net. Julie, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
She's great. And she joined us on our Turnkey.pro answer line.
Bacon? Gotta get that bacon! Smoky bacon, crispy bacon, tasty bacon! Where is it? Where's the bacon?
Bacon popular. Story at 11.
Yummy, crunchy bacon, bacon, bacon! There in that bag!
Who wants a bacon strip?
Me! I get it myself, but I don't have thumbs! Yum, 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 it's bacon! I love you. I love bacon, I love you. I love bacon, I love you. I love bacon, I love you.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Now I'm hungry for bacon.
If you throw out that bacon, I'm taking it.
Here's your forecast for today. Hold on to your bacon because it's windy out there, 35 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts at times. It will be cooler, 51 degrees for a high. Then tomorrow, windy with intervals of clouds and sunshine, a high in the mid-40s. So a big difference there. Let's see if there's any difference in travel times on the roadways and the skyways. It's still closed, Jim Telemonte?
It is, Amy and Dan. No travel on the skyway between 92nd and 106th near the state line. That's driving much more traffic to the Bishop Ford Freeway. Big delays start at 159th. It's 55 minutes from 8094 to the merge. I-57 at 36 minutes. And the Ryan, still 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. The Kennedy is now an hour and 5 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 57 minutes. Eden's 36 6 minutes from Lake Hook to the Kennedy, outbound 27. Inbound Ike, an hour and 6 minutes. Thorndale to downtown, outbound 47 minutes. Stevenson, an hour, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Left lane reopened after the drive. There was an earlier huge pothole there. How about it's 50 minutes? The Ryan, 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State, really slow at Kedzie to 75th. From the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Veterans Memorial, jammed I-55 most of the way to St. Charles, and Heavy Army Trail to 290. I'm Jim Talamonte, ChicagoRadioDeals.com, Traffic Center.
I know you want to work with a Chicagoland real estate agent with qualified buyers who can guarantee to sell your home. That's why you should call Saul Z and the Z team. The average agent sells 8 homes a year. As a top agent with great marketing, Saul averages over 300. If 29 days pass without a sale on your listing, Saul will buy it. And working with Saul won't obligate you to anything, because if you aren't happy, you can just cancel the contract. For example, Jason had his Hinsdale home on the market for 10 months with another agent. He switched the listing to Saul, and in a very short time sold his home for $806,000, a full $37,000 above the original list price. It's why the Wall Street Journal ranks Saul among the top 250 agents in the country. I know I'll be calling Saul when I'm ready to sell or buy a home. So go to callsaul.net. That's callsaul, SAUL.net, to find out what your home's worth, or call Saul directly at 888-346-0666. That's 888-346-0666, and start packing.
What could you do with an extra $500, $1,000, or even $1,500 per month? How would that change things for you? Would you buy a new car, pay off bills, or just feel a bit more secure about your retirement? What if I told you there may be a way to make your dreams a reality? I'm talking about trading and investing in the market. Now, before you say, oh no, that's not for me, just hear me out. I want to invite you to a free trading and investing class so you can check this out. And right now, if you call in and mention offer Radio 50, Online Trading Academy will comp the class and even send you home with a free $247 home study program. Call right now and reserve your seat while space is still available. Call 888-601-TRADE. Call 888-601-TRADE. Mention offer Radio 50. Call 888-601-TRADE or online at otaclass.com. That's 888-601-8723 or otaclass.com.
My name is Dr. Howard. I've recommended Balance of Nature for over 15 years because of the excellent results I see in my patients. Balance of Nature doesn't make any claims of treating or curing any particular disease, but I think the results speak for themselves.
I hate veggies, so this was a perfect way to get vitamins and veggies that worked with my body.
I do feel better, but as far as health-wise goes, I used to have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. I'm not doing that anymore. The ringing in my ear is a lot less than what it used to be. Those are the two things right away that I noticed, and I'm not as hungry as I used to be also.
When you can give your body a full variety of 31 different fruits and vegetables in their 100% natural, whole food form, you receive the unmatched balance of nutrition. Call toll-free 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and be sure to enter promo code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer.
So get up and get down.
911 is a joke in your town. Get up and get
Who
down.
sings this song? Besides Dan Proft?
Public Enemy.
Oh, that's right.
Chuck D and Flav.
Is it the theme song to Chirac?
I don't know. I don't think so. But it's a great rap song from the 80s when I was a budding Vanilla Ice.
Can you rap? If I brought in some cardboard, could you spin on it? Yes or no, Dan Proft?
I would probably break a hip, but
well, would
once
you need
upon
the
a
gloves?
time.
Would you need the gloves and the parachute pants?
No, I just prefer them.
Okay.
I don't need them. I prefer them.
You just want them.
Yeah. I remember we've talked about this before. There was Ozone and Turbo, kind of two schools of breakdancing from Electric Boogaloo. You remember Electric Boogaloo, too.
Who's Electric Boogaloo?
It was Turbo and Ozone.
Uh-huh.
Shaka Khan.
Oh, I know Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan. Let me rock you, Shaka Khan. My friend was a backup singer for her.
It's terrible.
I know that was really.
It's an affront to Shaka Khan. So I was more of an Ozone style breakdancer.
Can you tell me the difference between the two?
No, I can't.
What are the stylistic differences?
It's a code among among us breakdancers. I don't want to talk about it.
Well, what we're talking about this morning is Chirac because it's coming December 4th. Chirac opens in theaters nationwide. And last night, Spike Lee sat down with Val Warner. You know Val Warner from Windy City Live. And he sat down with her. You know why? Because she plays a reporter in the movie Chirac.
I can never tell Val Warner and Ryan Chevrini apart. So which one is she?
She's Val Warner.
Oh,
Here's
okay.
a clip from the film.
Homicides in Chicago, Illinois have surpassed the death toll of American Special Forces in Iraq.
So Spike Lee said that Chirac it's a serious film, Dan, with a little comedy that's designed to shake up, he claims, the status quo.
People, this film is not a joke.
Did you hear that?
Wait a second.
That was Father Flager, but
I'm not saying that the film's a joke, but it is a comedy. It's based on Aristophanes' comedy Lysistrata.
Well,
it's
he
literally, and
right, because the women of Inglewood are key to combating the violence because they're withholding sex until the neighborhood's young men change their violent ways and turn in their weapons.
And that's Aristophanes' play going back to the Peloponnesian War. That was the play. Now, so it's fine to have a modern adaptation of that, but understand what it is. It doesn't mean that it doesn't have a point, but it is a comedy. And if you watch the full trailer with Samuel Jackson, I mean, you get doing the narration, you get a real sense of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Rahm Emanuel, of course, doesn't like the title, blah, blah.
I was clear that I was not happy about the title.
And Spike Lee has invited Mayor Emanuel to sit next to him at the movie premiere, which takes place December 4th at the Chicago Theater. He wants to sit next to him, but he's defending
we need 2 booster seats in front.
Stop it.
I understand what people from Chicago being very sensitive and being defensive. But facts are facts. New York City has 3 times the population of Chicago. Chicago is more homicides than New York.
Mm-hmm.
That is a fact. In
That is a fact.
In fact, Chicago has a higher murder per capita than both New York and L.A. combined.
And Spike Lee said that Chicagoans are the one who came up with the title Chirac, not him.
The movie Chirac, you kept this title despite the fact that a lot of Chicagoans have a big problem with it. They don't want the image.
It was Chicagoans that came up with the title.
But you never thought about changing it for those that don't want it repeated in history for our city to be known like this?
This movie did not stop Tyshawn Lee from being executed. The movie had nothing to do with that. We're trying to shed light on what's happening here.
I'm interested now in seeing this film. Are you going to see it?
I'm going to see it with Spike Lee and Tiny Dancer. I'm going to the premiere.
Do you think Jennifer Hudson will accept this role with some BS? Come on. Let's think about it. Knowing Jennifer Hudson's history, knowing what happened to her family, do you think for 1 second she will be in this film?
I find myself in the uncomfortable position of agreeing with Spike Lee. The response from the politicians in this city, they're the only ones saying this. They're the only ones who didn't want the film to be made. They're the only ones whining about the title. This is politicians trying to cover up what they haven't done in their positions of responsibility. Tiny Dancer and some of those beholden trained SEALs on the city council as well.
Holding tax credits from them because they shot the film in Chicago. They should have gotten a tax break, but they didn't because they didn't like the title.
Yeah, can we cue up a little Public Enemy again?
Yeah, okay.
Let's take it out. Let's take it out with Flavor Flav.
All right. Hit it, Maestro.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Honey, it's official. I'm running for office. Bob Bunn is going to run.
But the election is around the corner. You haven't even begun.
Hey, be nice, hun. I went to electiongraphics.us. They designed this sharp logo and are printing everything we need to help win votes. Walk cards, door hangers, yard signs, flyers, banners, even these awesome buttons.
Ooh, how fun.
Electiongraphics.us. I even had them take my campaign photo. Here it is. What do you think?
Bob Bunn, your face beams like the sun.
ElectionGraphics.us works with you to develop the visual message of your campaign, whether it be local, state, or national in scope. ElectionGraphics.us works with your existing graphics or can help design eye-catching brand and visuals that will deliver your message. ElectionGraphics.us will ensure that your brand and message are clean, consistent, and clear.
Bob Bunn, you've won! ya.
Without electiongraphics.us, I couldn't even have begun.
Electiongraphics.us, 847-224-8757. That's 847-224-8757.
So get up and get down.
911 is joking your town. Get up and get down. Late 911, where's the late crown? All right, that's enough, Flav.
That was wonderful.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry, Flav. Sorry for that. Gentlemen, Dan Profton, it's Movember, guys. You know what that means? Mustaches and taking better care of your health. In honor of November, Low T Center is offering a testosterone and PSA test for only $50, and no appointment is necessary. Low T Center makes it easy to get your levels checked. I experienced it personally. You walk in, take a simple blood test, and you'll know your results within minutes. And their services are covered by most health insurance. Low T levels can make you feel tired and grumpy, can raise your cholesterol and cause weight gain. Low T Center's experienced medical staff will educate you on the benefits and risks of testosterone replacement. And Low T Center even has convenient and flexible hours. So take care of yourself this Movember and get your PSA and testosterone tested for only $50. I did. Call my friends at Low T Center today, 630-409-4305. That number, 630-409-4305. Or visit them online at lowtcenter.com and tell them Dan Prof sent you.
AM 560, The Answer.
Oh, yeah. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
I sing 911 is a joke with Diamond and Silk, the hosts of The Viewer's View and the favorite pundits for me of this election cycle. That's at 7:37.
But first, let's go back into the newsroom to Rappity-Rap Mike Scott. Oh, I even did that wrong. He joins us from the newsroom with the news.
Just do not do Curtis Blow's Christmas rap at any time in the next 6 weeks, and we'll be just fine. Thank you very much. That's old school, everybody. 44 degrees outside. Iraqi Kurds say they've cut out one of the Islamic State's most important supply chains, a route Highway 47 between the Kurdish capital near the town of Sinjar in northern Iraq and Raqqa in Syria. A nasty weather system known as the Witch of November is back in the Midwest. Jesse Elliott of Pomona, Kansas, already has lost her roof to the storm.
It's gone. So, and now, all I can really do is I got to fix it.
Powerful low-pressure system is blowing over semis, damaging homes, knocking out electricity across the upper Midwest and Ohio Valley. Republican presidential candidate Dr. Ben Carson sounding off about recent protests over racial injustice at the University of Missouri. The retired neurosurgeon on Fox and Friends this morning.
It seems like we're not really emphasizing the whole concept of freedom of speech and freedom of expression, and most importantly, of open dialogue. It's okay to disagree with people, but it's not okay to try to destroy them.
Carson also discussed the protest at Yale, where he attended school. The FAA investigating laser strikes on planes in Dallas and news choppers in New York City. An Elon University football player has died after falling from a 10-story dorm. Junior wide receiver Demetri Allison was actually on the campus of the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill when the incident happened. Winds have forced the closure of the Chicago Skyway Bridge. ComEd reporting several thousand power outages. We'll get an update on how the strong winds and weather is impacting your morning commute in just a moment. An investigation is underway after an infant was found dead on the north side. Police say the newborn was discovered last night outside a building in the 800 block of West Eastwood Avenue. And a Chicago area supermarket chain is getting a new owner. Kroger's announcing they've agreed to purchase Mariano's parent company, Roundy's, for $800 million. The news is a service of Think It Up. And at 7:33, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
I think America is dying.
The Joe Walsh Show.
Everybody came here to be free. Everybody came here to strike it out on their own. Everybody wanted government to stay out of their hair. Everybody wanted to be free. Not today. We have way too many people in America who no longer want that America.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5. Right after Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Cornerstone National Bank believes trust, service, and relationship is the foundation of a business banking partnership. Cornerstone National Bank and Trust Company, where you belong. Visit cornerstonenb.com. Member FDIC.
Banks have been foreclosing on people's homes at an unprecedented rate. Enough is enough. It's time to fight back and level the playing field. The attorneys of Bridges & O and Associates have an intense understanding of foreclosure law. Experienced attorneys will passionately litigate against and negotiate with your bank for a permanent loan restructuring. They are proud to help educate and protect families, keeping you in your home, reducing your stress, and giving you time to get back on your feet. Don't just sit there and lose your home. They can put you back in control. Get the upper hand when negotiating with your bank with their free evaluation. Then Bridges & O and Associates will develop a plan that will help your family now, 3 months from now, 3 years from now, even 5 years from now. Call 224-513-1231 or visit FightIllinoisForeclosures.com. Get real answers from a real foreclosure defense law firm. 224-513-1231 or FightIllinoisForeclosures.com. Bridges & O and Associates. You have rights. Don't give up your home. Selecting a dentist is an important decision. Don't trust it to just anyone. Here's Dr. Joel Akrush with Artistic Dentistry.
I don't like what I call cookie cutter dentistry. Not every patient should fit into that one treatment. We like to treat our patients. They have their own treatment, their own situation, their own health. Everything must play all together, and that patient gets their own treatment.
With more than 30 years of combined experience, the team at Artistic Dentistry understands that each patient's needs are different. Their state-of-the-art facility allows their team to address all your dental needs in one location, from regular dental checkups to customized dental implants. Let Artistic Dentistry give you the smile that you've always wanted. Schedule a free consultation today at 708-301-6060. That's 708-301-6060 or donewithdentures.com.
7:36. Let's get an update on the roads in our ChicagoRadioDeals.com traffic center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. The Skyway remains closed between 92nd and 106th, and westbound it is jammed. The West Point Toll Plaza near the state line, or just across it, going to 106th due to that debris and high winds affecting the Skyway Bridge. It means more traffic to 8094, which does not have significant delays, but then to the Bishop Ford Freeway, which is jammed from 159th to the Ryan. It's an hour and 5 minutes from 8094 to the merge. By comparison, I-57, 36 minutes from I-80 to the Ryan. The Ryan is 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. The Edens, now 40 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 33. The Kennedy, an hour and 13 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 58 minutes. The Eisenhower, an hour and 10 minutes. Thorndale to the Loop, outbound 53 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 10 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 50 minutes. Northbound Tri-State, stop and go. Kedzie to 75th. From Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis. The Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Adams Tollway, heavy delays. Barrington to Meacham and Elmhurst to Lee. Veterans Memorial from I-55 most of the way to St. Charles. Army Trail to 290. Traffic is service of RCN. Entertainment redefined. Get award-winning, super fast 155 internet and awesome digital TV as low as $55.94 per month. Plus take TV anywhere with RCN to go. It's awesome-amazing. RCN. Entertainment redefined. 1-800-RING-RCN or RCN.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte at AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center. Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solution provider. Windy day, a passing morning shower. Locally damaging winds throughout the day could happen. High of 51 and a low of 35 overnight. 44 right now with winds out of the south at 25. Your next news update is at 8. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy every Sunday afternoon at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Your money. Find out how to keep more of it and live debt-free. Tonight on The Dave Ramsey Show, starting at 7 on AM 560, The Answer.
Yeah.
I know the words of this one.
Old school today. I like it. Dan and Amy, did you see that story about Marty O'Malley having a dinner with persons that are here illegally?
Yeah, it's called, he's going to say, oh, hi, how you doing? No, it's entrapment. He's going to get him kicked out of the country.
You know what's going to
After
happen?
he has dinner with him. Don't fall for it, guys. It's an act.
His pandering knows no bounds. I assume that Trump will play the Sidney Poitier character at that dinner. All right, now it's time to get real analysis of Tuesday night's debate. These young ladies have done to political punditry in 2016 what Donald Trump has done to the race for the presidency, which is to make it much more entertaining. Of course, I'm talking about Diamond and Silk, host of The Viewer's View. Diamond and Silk, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us.
So, your guy Trump, he had a bit of a rough night, didn't he? I mean, the whole I met Putin while we were talking in the green room at 60 Minutes, and that means, I understand this guy's soul, and I'll be able to deal with him much better than President Obama did. Wasn't that kind of an awkward moment?
No, he had a phenomenal night. As you can see,
I knew I was wrong.
He was leading in all of the polls. He had a great night. The people that didn't have a good night was Kasich. He's all bark and no bite. He's a lunatic is what I think. I think he should go ahead and drop out. Or people like Jed Bush can't fix anything. And I was at the debate. So he actually really, yes, we were at the debate.
Wait, did you get to meet Donald?
We did not get to meet Donald, but his whole we met his team. Hold up, we met his team.
Yes.
But we did not get to go up to Donald and shake his hand and everything because of security and all of that kind of good stuff. And I'm quite sure that they whisked him off to the spin room right after he got off that stage.
Now,
Now,
when is the debate that you two are moderating?
I don't know, but when they call us, I would love to do it because I have questions for a lot of them. Like Marco Rubio. Yeah. Why did you charge that $10,000 to that GOP card and you didn't have the money to pay for it, so you had to pay it back in installments? Why? Why did you do that? Rand Paul, why are you still up there? Carly Farina, why did you lie and say you didn't meet Putin in the green room, honey? Google yourself. Because you met him somewhere too, baby, and it was the green room, yes.
Ladies, since you were there, didn't you feel, though, that the audience wasn't really cheering for Trump?
Well,
at
that's
one point
because,
in time,
listen,
guys, he got booed, remember?
Let me tell you why. Because the establishment is pulling for Marco Rubio, so they made sure the audience went in his favor, which is unfair. If the establishment and the GOP don't stop it, they're going to end up losing an election. Donald Trump is the only one that is going to be able to get the African-American vote, to have people switch their parties, and they need to start paying attention. So we was right there, baby. We was able to see it live in action, and we saw all the trickery, and they wanted us to think it was treat. We back to Denver.
Why can't Dr. Ben Carson generate the African-American vote?
Because listen. Okay, don't go there. Don't you go there, Dan, with me.
I just
listen
did.
to me.
I did
listen.
it. I done went and gone there.
Okay, listen. If we gonna have another soft-spoken tone, we might as well keep what we got. We need somebody where their voice speaks volumes. I want somebody that's just gonna build that wall, and then you can have Jeb Bush to put the doorknobs on, because he the one said he can fix things. Okay, that's what you have him to do. I want somebody to bring our jobs back where they can thrive. Nobody have a platform to stand on because they're copying off of Donald Trump. They need to have their own platform, but not on that stage, baby, and not lead it. And if it wasn't for Donald Trump, we wouldn't be talking about immigration or our jobs. So you see how they copying off of Donald Trump? Listen, I want a debate, not a QA session. A debate.
So, ladies, did you think at one point in time that Donald Trump was going to smack John Kasich right off the stage there?
Well,
because he got mad. He's like, threw his hand up.
John, he's very rude. He's very rude, and he looked like a lunatic, and I will never vote for him, ever. I don't even know why he's still in the race. He messed his own stuff up.
How about when Donald Trump Jed Clampeted Kasich and said, he was lucky he struck oil?
Well, he didn't do nothing but chew him up and spit him out. That's all.
Now, ladies, we're talking to Diamond and Silk, as if you don't know. Diamond and Silk, the host of The Viewer's View. By the way, you have I see merchandise on your site, too. You could get a Diamond and Silk koozie. So you can enjoy a cold beverage while you're watching the debate. Or Diamond and Silk. Yeah.
I love your T-shirts, ladies.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, Just go to diamondandsilk.com and you can purchase it there. And all of that helps for us to take and advertise so we can get the word out about our man, Donald J. Trump.
Well, now, Amy, you should get one of those Diamond and Silk T-shirts to go along with your Make America Great Again hat that you've ordered.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, and it is coming in the mail.
You got to accessorize. So, Diamond and Silk, what about, and let's get to the other candidates too, somebody that's also perceived as a threat to Trump, and Trump said it himself. He sees his main threats as Marco Rubio, who we've discussed, and Ted Cruz. What about Ted Cruz?
Okay, now here's my thing about Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz accepted $15 million from somebody. Let me tell you something, baby. Sugar ain't for free. That's hush money. What you gonna do is hush up on the American people, and you gonna have to pay back that money. That man, whoever lent you that $15 million, you gonna have to answer to that man. So that means you won't be able to work for the American people. You will be a puppet on the string, baby. Yes, we see it all, honey. We see it.
All right, what about Jeb?
Jeb Bush needs to drop out, honey. He was ever ready putting me to sleep, and he the one say he can fix it. Fix what? He need to fix my witch rocks, look, a light bulb, a doorknob, a doorbell. That's what a shoe heel. He can fix stuff like that. But fix your own self. Fix your campaign.
All right, Diamond and Silk, we try to make connections with people where we can, and we have a caller, Kevin from Northfield, who has a proposal for you. I think it's the proposal. Kevin?
Oh, no.
Diamond and Silk.
Hi!
There's nothing harder than diamond. There's nothing smoother than silk. I want to be your apprentice, and I want you two gals to be my apprentice. What do you say?
Wow.
Well,
Thanks for the call, Kevin.
What does this entail?
Well, I think
that was a proposal.
Yeah, I think Kevin would like to be Mr. Diamond and Silk.
Well, Kevin, what we need for you to do is make sure you spread the word about our man Donald Trump. Let him know how he can't be bought, how he's going to work for the American people, and can't nobody pull his strings, and he don't even want to be paid for it, and that speaks volumes. He done already put his money where his mouth is, and anybody that can take $1 million and turn it into $10 billion, imagine what the American people can do with their money. I love it, baby. I love it. We stumping for Trump.
All right, Diamond and Silk, host of The Viewer's View. Diamond and Silk, as always, a pleasure. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, I love those ladies. And they joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Can't get enough Diamond and Silk. Love those ladies. Here's your forecast for today. Wind is the operative word today because we're going to have wind gusts anywhere from 27 to 50. That's right, 50 miles per hour today. It's going to be nasty out there. Cool, plenty of clouds, no sunshine, a high of 51. Tomorrow, windy with intervals of clouds and some sun by the afternoon, so that's good. But chilly, a high of 46. Let's get the travel times. Is the Chicago Skyway still closed, Jim Telemonte?
It is, Amy. Good morning. Still shut down between 92nd and 106th. And westbound, there's big delay from the Indiana Toll Road's West Point Toll Plaza. This is due to high winds and blowing debris on the big bridge. This means a lot more traffic to the Bishop Ford Freeway. It's a mess. An hour and 5 minutes from 8094 to the Rhine. The delay started at 159th. By comparison, I-57, if that's an option for you, it's by relative comparison, pretty light. 35 minutes, I-80 to the merge, and the Rhine at 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. It's pretty bad everywhere. Eden's 40 minutes, Lake Hook to Montrose, outbound 33. The Kennedy, an hour and 20 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Express lanes will save you about 12 minutes. Outbound 58 minutes, downtown to O'Hare. The Eisenhower, an hour and 11 minutes, Thorndale to the Loop. Outbound 53 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 10 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 50 minutes. Lakeshore Drive jamming up from Foster to North Avenue. 40 minutes, Hollywood to Monroe, northbound slow from the Stevenson to Jackson. The tollways have really heavy delays, especially the northbound Veterans Memorial. It's jammed. I-55 pretty much all the way to Roosevelt and Army Trail to 290. I'm Jim Talamonte, ChicagoRadioDeals.com, Traffic Center.
Nasty, real nasty.
When you buy a new house, you don't buy the first one you see. When you sell your home, you don't choose the first real estate broker you hear about. You choose the agent backed by the most powerful brand in real estate, and that agent is Ed Lukasik Jr., owner of RE/MAX Professionals. Now, Ed doesn't need to offer gimmicks like promising to buy your home because he can't sell it or 24-hour listing agreements. Ed does offer the promise of hard work and an aggressive, innovative marketing plan to sell your home. The most compelling reason to call RE/MAX professionals is the best. Ed Lukasik Jr. has closed over 1,600 homes since 2008, giving him the knowledge and experience most agents can't obtain in their entire careers. The average real estate agent closes 7 homes a year. Ed, get this, he sold over 229 listings in just the past year alone. So make the right choice. Choose RE/MAX professionals to list your home. Get an in-person market analysis straight from Ed by calling 630-679-5454. That's 630-679-5454. Sell your home with the professionals, RE/MAX professionals.
My name is Dr. Howard. I've recommended Balance of Nature for over 15 years because of the excellent results I see in my patients. Balance of Nature doesn't make any claims of treating or curing any particular disease, but I think the results speak for themselves.
The gospel truth about it is that the thing I'm most excited about is that after having my gallbladder out 3 years ago, I had constant pain in my side that was something that they couldn't attribute to anything other than probably a poor diet. Since I've been on these supplements, is really making a difference in my life. I feel better. I have no pain.
When you can give your body a full variety of 31 different fruits and vegetables in their 100% natural, whole food form, you receive the unmatched balance of nutrition. Call toll-free 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and be sure to enter promo code CHICAGO.
A little preventive maintenance before the holiday season could save you thousands of dollars and a lot of heartache.
Hi, I'm Roy Spencer, president of Permaseal. The holidays are tough on your sewer lines. Overuse of garbage disposals and paper products, in addition to grease buildup, can clog your sewer line. And a clogged sewer line can result in raw sewage backing up into your home. You'll want to avoid that unpleasant surprise when your family comes to visit. Permaseal has a simple solution to help you prevent this disgusting problem. Call 800-421-SEAL by November 30th and pay only $199 for your sewer rotting service. A certified Permaseal technician will rod your main sewer line and eliminate any blockages. For over 36 years, our mission has been to provide a superior customer experience and the greatest value. Call 800-421-SEAL. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 800-421-SEAL or visit permaseal.net.
Restrictions apply. See your Permaseal representative for further details.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, let's talk a little bit about the other side, too. Hillary Clinton. And,
yeah, where's she been lately?
Well, this was interesting. One, she's got a new wiggy top. She's got a new...
She doesn't wear a wig.
A wiggy top. She's got,
What's a wiggy top?
Your lid.
I know, but I know the woman who cuts her hair when she comes into town and styles it. And that is not a wig. I can tell you firsthand it's not a wig.
Drudge?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so lovely. Drudge posted a picture of her with her new wiggy top.
What are you doing? Let me see this wiggy top. Do you have a picture for me?
Drudge report.
Yeah, all right. I'll Drudge report it over here in my little box. Okay.
It's like this.
Let me see.
Yeah, there it is. See?
Oh, that's not. I mean, she might have some hair pieces. You know what those are? Some hair extensions to make it look fuller. White people do that too.
I think the chin strap she's wearing is a giveaway that this may be a wig.
What about that singlet? Where'd she traded in her pantsuit for that?
Well, Drudge posted a picture of her with her new do and was suggesting that maybe it's a wig, but her hairstylist, Santa Nichols, the owner of Santa's Hair Salon in Chappaqua, New York, where Clinton lives, said, "You guys are so funny. She has the most amazing hair in the world." That it's not a wig, not at all a wig.
Well, when she comes here, she goes to Marion Stroker Salon. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, well.
And that thing's real. Okay?
Maybe she should go to Jennifer Hair Studio where I go.
I'm looking at, Jennifer. You had to bring her up again. Every guy I know goes to Jennifer at Jennifer Hair Salon.
Because.
Why? What's the secret sauce? What does she do? Is it the way she rubs your hair? Is it the way she cuts it?
It's the way she, makes me look like George Clooney.
We just washed the hair.
Do you have a wiggy top?
Or Vinnie Barbarino.
All right, I'm on Drudge, and I'm seeing the before and after of Hillary.
And?
Okay, they're not. It's not a wig. It's little hair extensions. Does that make sense? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Vaguely, yeah.
Well, I'm laughing like her.
Well, yes, it's equally delightful. But on more substantive, before this devolves into The View, more substantive matter. Hillary Clinton, especially, this is worth noting for all of those Democrats, center-left voters who support things like charter schools, because, a lot of them send their kids to the charter schools because a lot of the charter schools are better than the neighborhood schools, so for example, or they have supported through philanthropically charter school development. Think of Waiting for Superman. Most charter schools don't take the hardest to teach kids, or if they do, they don't keep them, and so the public schools are often in a no-win situation. For many years, I've supported the idea of charter schools, though not as a substitute for the public schools. Well, by the way, charter schools are still publicly funded public schools. She's moving off her support of charter schools. Hillary Clinton is. So for the Juan Williams of the world, those type of Democrat voters who believe that choice in education is important, even though charter schools, for me, are a way station to real school choice like we have at the collegiate level, still a positive step forward. Hillary Clinton taking a step backwards because she needs to sidle up to Randy Weingarten and the National Teachers Union for her electoral interests. So just another thing worth noting when you're at your fancy salon, or you're
Marianne Stroker,
or you're at East Bank Club talking to all your liberal friends. Maybe they support charter schools in places like Chicago so that kids that aren't named Emmanuel or Obama also get access to better schools. Hillary Clinton walking away from that because it's in her political interest to do so, and this is somebody that you want to support to make history?
Haircuts. There are 3 acceptable haircuts: high and tight, crew cut, buzz cut. Are the scissors broken in your house, son?
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper, hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
The most recent U.S. Supreme Court decision on the Affordable Care Act made one thing certain. We will all have to deal with this ever-changing law until at least 2017. If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Obamacare, then you need a local expert on your side. That's right, your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 20-year licensed broker who's been educating AM 560 listeners on the Affordable Care Act for the last 5 years.
Thanks, Dan. If you have a pre-existing condition, a canceled plan, or your premium increased, now's the time to get covered. 2016 open enrollment begins on November 1st and ends on January 31st. During this 90-day window, you cannot be denied coverage. Depending on your income, you may find a more affordable plan. The new healthcare law is very complicated, and you do need guidance. It costs you nothing to use a broker, so why not tap into my expertise?
Thanks, Steve. How can our listeners get in touch with you?
They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
Got a great night's sleep last night, all thanks to My Pillow from My Pillow. We just call it My Pillow, my buddy. I love it. It conforms to my neck and back, and I've personified an innate object called My Pillow. No, it helps if you have problems with chronic neck and back pain, snoring, allergies. It keeps its shape. You can throw it in the washer and dryer, and it gives you support where you need it the most. That's why it's the official pillow of the National Sleep Foundation. American made, and right now they have the buy one, get one free offer, plus a 60-day money-back guarantee. So try a MyPillow risk-free. You have nothing to lose and could be enjoying your best sleep ever. Go to MyPillow.com, type Amy, A-M-Y, in the promo code. Do it now. This offer is for a limited time only. MyPillow.com, promo code Amy, or call 800-489-0201, 800-489-0201. The holidays are right around the corner. Buy one, get one free offer. Keep one for yourself. Give one as a gift. MyPillow.com.
And now, a moment of objectivism with your Ron Brook and the Ayn Rand Institute.
When philosopher and novelist Ayn Rand was interviewed on the Johnny Carson show in 1967, Carson asked her if she believed in God. She said simply, "No, I do not." Ayn Rand rejected religion and laid out a code of morality based on reason, not faith. When asked to describe her philosophy, she said, quote, "I am the creator of a new code of morality, which so far has been believed impossible. A morality not based on faith, not on arbitrary whim, not on emotion, not on arbitrary edict, mystical or social, but on reason. A morality which can be proved by means of logic, which can be demonstrated to be true and necessary." Find out more about Ayn Rand's revolutionary philosophy at ariradio.com. From the Ayn Rand Institute, I'm your Ron Brook.
This has been A Moment of Objectivism from the Ayn Rand Institute. To learn more, listen to The Yaron Brooks Show, Saturdays at 4 on AM 560, and visit ariradio.com.
Why are Ayn Rand's ideas so compelling? Her worldview, her philosophy, expressed dramatically in her novels Atlas Shrugged and The Fountainhead, embodies the ideals stated by the Founding Fathers in the Declaration of Independence and sets forth the requirements necessary to achieve a flourishing life. She called her philosophy Objectivism and said it was a philosophy for living on Earth. Today, decades after her death, Objectivism continues to stir debate and inspire passion for the spirit of individualism and the enduring American dream.
Here are the stories we're watching for you today. Powerful winds moving through the upper Midwest. Gusts of up to 40 miles an hour this morning, battering the area. Metra approves a fare increase, and the ISU graduation rate is way up. We'll have a complete look at weather after Fox News, WIND, Chicago News Time, 8 o'clock.
Fox News Radio, I'm Dave Anthony. Hillary Clinton is under more intense scrutiny at the FBI, facing an expanded probe into her private emailing while the Democratic presidential frontrunner was Secretary of State. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
Fox News has learned that agents are now exploring whether Clinton, her aides, or her attorney were not forthcoming with the FBI about her emails, their classification, and whether only non-governmental records were destroyed. It would be a felony if Clinton intentionally misrepresented statements to the FBI, and violations would also include pressuring a third party to conspire in a cover-up. Separately, Fox News has also learned that the FBI is doing its own independent classification review of the Clinton emails. Dave?
John Kurdish Iraqi fighters claim they've cut off a key supply route ISIS uses connecting Iraq and Syria in a battle to try to take the town of Sinjar away from the Islamic militants. Reuters reports U.S. airstrike to help the operation killed 60 to 70 ISIS fighters. 2 college students in Missouri are facing charges accused of making threats to shoot black people. This as the racial tension-fueled protest that forced the University of Missouri's president out spreads to other campuses. Fox News' Gernal Scott live here in New York.
And Dave, students protesting against what they call rampant racial strife is leading to demonstrations at more than 20 campuses. Harvard, Syracuse, Yale, at Ithaca College here in New York. This student says a school official is barely acting.
He's willing to make small steps in order to make it seem like he's addressing the issue, but he's doing the bare minimum.
Students are saying that what has happened at Missouri enlightens them on how much power they actually have. Even alumni at some schools are drafting letters to head off issues, Dave.
Gernal Chipotle is reopening 43 restaurants in Washington State and Oregon linked to an E. coli outbreak, saying they're all clean, sanitized, restocked.
I think they should be safe now, probably the safest place in town to eat.
She's in Spokane. Investigators never found the source of what made 42 people sick. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
Cloudy and windy this morning. Winds gusting out of the south at 26 miles an hour. We have 44 degrees at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Winds forcing the closure of the Chicago Skyway at the bridge. ComEd reporting several thousand power outages on their outage map at this hour, scattered across their wide service area. An investigation underway after an infant was found dead on the north side. Police tell us the newborn was discovered last night outside a building in the 800 block of West Eastwood Avenue. Chicago police are searching for a person of interest after a 2-year-old Rockford boy's remains were uncovered in a Garfield Park lagoon. Kyrian Knox disappeared in August but wasn't reported missing until September. It's going to cost suburban rail riders a bit more to get to work each day next year after a fare increase rolled out by Metra. AM 560's David Stewart has the details.
The fare is increasing between 1% and 8%, depending on how far someone travels and on whether a rider buys a one-way ticket, a 10-ride pass, or the most common monthly pass. This fare hike is part of a 10-year schedule of increases totaling 68% that will generate $2.5 billion for modernizing the rail fleet and for installing a federally required safety system. Last year's increase was 11%, so by comparison, Metro Board Chairman Martin Oberman called this new hike, quote, pretty modest. It kicks in February 1st. David Stewart, Chicago.
Illinois State University reporting a graduation rate of 73.4%. The school in Normal announcing this morning that's the highest rate in recent history among the top 10% of public and private universities nationwide. Chicago sports right here on AM 560. Northern Illinois, a MAC winner over Buffalo, 41-30. The news service of the Milwaukee Airport with all the major U.S. airlines, great fares, lots of nonstops, and parking as low as $7 a day. The Milwaukee Airport makes travelers happy even before they check in. Visit flymke.com and learn why Milwaukee's airport is the O'Hare alternative. 8:04, time for the AM 560 Business Beat. And from the Fox Business Network, here is Carol Zimmer.
From the Fox Business Network, stock futures are slightly lower heading into the open. Investors will be listening closely to speeches from Fed Chairwoman Janet Yellen and regional Fed presidents today. They'll be trying to pick up clues about what policymakers are thinking about the economy and whether they will raise interest rates when they meet again in December. Rolls-Royce shares fell more than 18% after the company warned that its earnings outlook had weakened. The luxury car maker said it may cut its dividend. And the USDA is investigating an undercover video from an animal welfare group which reportedly shows inhumane killing of animals at a pork slaughterhouse. Ag officials called the actions completely unacceptable. They're working to authenticate the video taken at the Minnesota plant, which provides meat for Hormel Foods. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Carol Zimmer.
8:05 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Hey, Chicagoland, Dave Ramsey here. For the last 20-plus years, we've helped millions of people get their financial lives in order. And now, for the first time ever, we're bringing our Smart Money Tour to you. Financial expert Chris Hogan and I will be at Willow Creek Church on January 12th. If you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck or wondering what you're going to do when retirement comes around, don't miss this event. Get your seats today at DaveRamsey.com.
And listen to Dave Ramsey tonight, starting at 7 on AM 560. The Answer.
You know the story of Hansel and Gretel, where Hansel left breadcrumbs on the trail so they could find their way back home? That's what you do when you use public Wi-Fi, or shop online, or give out your social security number at your doctor's office or the bank. You leave breadcrumbs on the trail for someone to possibly steal your identity and take everything you own. At LifeLock, we use proprietary technology to detect signs that someone has picked up your breadcrumbs to take what's yours. And unlike free credit monitoring services that only alert you, we have a dedicated resolution staff to help clean things up if all those breadcrumbs get messy. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses. But with LifeLock, you can keep doing the things you do every day and feel better protected. Isn't it time to help protect yourself from someone eating your financial lunch? Plans start at $9.99 a month. Right now, you can get 10% off. Go to lifelock.com and enter promo code NEWS.
It's 8:07 in our Chicago RadioDeals.com traffic center, the very latest with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. The Skyway remains closed between 92nd and 106 due to that issue with the high winds and debris on the bridge, and westbound traffic is jammed from the Indiana Toll Road's West Point Toll Plaza. Because of that closure, the Bishop Ford Freeway inbound jammed 159th to the Ryan. It is an hour and 8 minutes from 8094 to the Ryan, and then the Ryan runs about 25 minutes 95th to downtown. Eden's 40 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 30. On Kennedy, an hour and 20 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 58 minutes. The Eisenhower, an hour and 11 minutes. Thorndale to downtown, outbound 53 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 10 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound now just 39 minutes. Southbound Lakeshore Drive really bottled up from Foster to North Avenue. 40 minutes Hollywood to Monroe. Northbound slow from the Stevenson to Jackson. Northbound Tri-State. The delays are heavy from Sibley to 75th. From the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis and Roosevelt to Irving Park. The other tollways are very heavy as well. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center. Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solution provider. Here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Wind advisory in effect until 6 p.m. this evening. Winds gusting past 50 miles per hour today with a passing morning shower. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and cooler. Winds will be locally damaging, high 51. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
42 O'Hare, 44 along the lake. Next news at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Market Overdrive with Carla Mina. 2 power hours of real estate trends, secrets, and advice heard every Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m.
Good morning. Welcome to your Thursday morning briefing. Here's what you need to know to start your day.
In a race defined by personalities, GOP candidates are fresh off a debate dominated by policy instead.
How is it conservative to add $1 trillion in military expenditures? We can't even have an economy if we're not safe.
Spike Lee was candid, frank, and did not avoid any question about all the controversy surrounding Chirac. And despite all the uproar, Lee says Chirac is a serious film with a little comedy that's designed to shake up the status quo.
Do you think Jennifer Hudson will accept this role with some BS? Come on.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. What is up? I'll tell you what's up. Fox News has a bit of breaking news.
Yeah.
Fox News has learned the FBI has expanded its probe of Hillary Clinton's emails, with agents exploring whether multiple statements violate a federal false statements statute. So the question...
this wasn't a criminal investigation. Now it looks to be more as if it's a criminal probe.
Yes. Well, as we've talked to experts in this space before, the FBI doesn't do civil investigations.
Right.
If the FBI is investigating you, it is by definition criminal in nature.
But Hillary's camp has maintained all along, this isn't criminal, just to try and, don't avoid the shiny object in the room.
But now you get into this space, and we've seen people tripped up by this before, where it's not necessarily underlying acts that result in your prosecution, but lying to federal officials about those underlying. So I don't know.
Cover-up is worse than the crime.
It's interesting. So we'll watch that story with glee. And turning to Missouri, a lot of news coming out of Missouri, and Yale is still in upheaval. Ithaca now following suit, some copycat crimes of, thought crimes at Ithaca College. We'll get to those. But I want to read a Facebook post from a young Missouri grad who also happens to be a Glenbard North grad. She went to Glenbard North High School. Her name is Jessie Sheeran. She posted this 3 days ago. I'm quoting her post here, and I put it on my Facebook page too. Today, I learned that my university is run by its football team. Today, I learned that the media cares more about creating a story than uncovering the truth. Today, I learned that the right of a small group to protest is more important than the entire student body's right to the education they pay for. Today, I learned that one man is responsible for the heinous acts of a few campus racists. Today, I learned that not supporting one group protesting racism makes you a racist, even though you support the fight against racism, just not that specific group. Today, I am not proud to be a tiger. So just when you think all hope is lost, there are young people on college campuses, even at Missouri, who get the travesty, the ridiculousness, the absurdity of all of what is transpiring, the majority of what you see occurring on these campuses, courtesy of old media. There are students who are dissenting quietly, and some of them at least taking to social media to express their dissent, and frankly, that dissent expressed more eloquently than much of anything I've heard from the other side.
Yeah, and we are learning more about these two individuals. Peyton Head, who's from the area. Where did he went to? Richie South?
Rich South.
Rich South?
Richie South.
Rich South.
Or as Richie South, as no one refers to it.
And he created quite a controversy yesterday when he took to Twitter and said that the KKK was on campus and that he's working with university police and the National Guard. Yeah, because this is the president of the student body for University of Missouri, and he's got the power to work with the National Guard to try and stop shootings.
Here's his Twitter, or his tweet on Twitter, because I just want to compare the quality of it to what I just read from that young woman, Jessie Sheeran. Students, please take precautions. Stay away from the windows in residence halls. The KKK has been confirmed to be sighted on campus. Confirmed to be sighted. I'm working with the MUPD, Missouri Police Department, the state trooper, singular. There's just one state trooper, apparently, and the National Guard. That was his tweet.
Only the governor can work and direct the National Guard.
I believe
Nixon.
I believe Jay Nixon ceded his authority to Peyton Head.
Do you think Peyton Head may have a false sense of power right now? Do you think he's a little out of control, fraudulent, and irresponsible? 312-642-5600. Because I'll tell you what happened after he took to social media. The campus cleared out. African-American students jumped in cars and drove back to their parents' house. Starbucks shut down. A number of stores on the main strip there shut down because they thought that a gunman was coming to shoot people and they might be accidentally caught in the crossfire. That man is disgusting.
I think it started to get a little ridiculous when Peyton Head said, I'm going to also raise the state sales tax. So he really started to kind of take over the governor's office.
It did clean up Tent City, though. They did take down their tents. There was an upcoming storm, too, plus the KKK was on campus.
Well,
it was all, the police investigated it, and there are no credible sources.
Yeah,
and he apologized.
In response to that tweet and the ensuing pandemonium, Brian Weimer, police spokesman, we have found no evidence of anything related to the KKK on campus.
Mm-hmm. When I sound like Diamond and Silk.
Yes, you do a great Silk.
Thank you.
Also, there was no. Weimer, the police spokesman, also said the National Guard, not present at all on the Missouri campus. So I don't know where Peyton Head is getting that. Then
because they're so powerful right now, Dan. They took down the president of Missouri.
He apologized of sorts. He said, I'm sorry about the misinformation that I have shared through social media. This is Peyton Head. In a state of alarm, I was concerned for all students. You know the problem with Peyton Head? He cares too much. I was concerned for all students of the University of Missouri and wanted to ensure that everyone was safe. I received and shared information from multiple incorrect sources, which I deeply regret. So he conjured up the prospect that the KKK was running amok on the campus of the University of Missouri, but it was out of concern, so it's okay.
No, this is what's wrong. We have given these students too much power, and he should be. I mean, I don't know what you could charge him with, but Peyton Head is the one who should be held responsible. Seriously, businesses lost, owners of small companies and large companies, they lost business yesterday because the campus was shut down.
Wall Street Journal has a good editorial on topic, suggesting that the students at Yale University, and I would apply this to Missouri as well, for Halloween, since that was the fight in Yale and the anti-free speech movement at Yale was over emails about Halloween costumes. The kids there should dress up as Robespierre right after they learn who Robespierre and who Robespierre was and what the Reign of Terror was all about, because they don't teach that on college campuses anymore, although it's playing out in practice. In addition to Peyton Head and that little foray into incitement, we also have more information about Melissa Click. I need some muscle over here to deal with one student journalist with a camera.
Yeah. An Asian student journalism student who was a senior who paid to go to school there and is on public property.
Yeah, but Melissa Click's still there. Eric Wemple at Washington Post called for Melissa Click and her husband to be fired. Her husband, Richard Chip Callahan.
He's the tall guy. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
The chipster. I saw him on that video there.
Right. He chairs Missouri's Religious Studies Department, and he's on the video that's gone viral as well, attempting to shut down the photojournalist. He didn't take it quite as far as his delicate little flower wife, Melissa Click, but he was participating, trying to shut down this lone journalist, just trying to take pictures in a public space and document the story that was unfolding before him.
He's a student there, but he was freelancing for ESPN. I mean, it was such a joke. But I would tell you this, a 19-year-old has been arrested for sending out some threats via Yik Yak, saying, if you're a black student, you might be gunned down today. So there has been an arrest made.
Oh, and that arrest should have been made. Whatever that student was thinking, it's terrible. He is a computer science sophomore or something.
19-year-old kid, Hunter Parker, I think his name is.
All right, we've got more disintegration on college campuses, not just in Columbia, Missouri, and we'll take your calls right after this.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Windy is the operative word for today. Wind gusts from 20 to 50 miles per hour throughout the day, throughout the evening, and early tomorrow morning, so be careful out there. Today it's just going to be cloudy, a high of 51 degrees tomorrow. Some sunshine by the afternoon, a high of 46. Let's get the travel times. The busy man this morning is Jim Talamonte.
It's pretty crazy, Amy, and there are no triple tractor trailers, large doubles, or oversized loads on the Indiana Toll Road because of that wind till 6 p.m. Central, and there are delays on the westbound toll road approaching the Skyway, which remains closed from 106th to 92nd. That's in both directions. Inbound Bishop Ford with the increased traffic still very heavy. It is an hour and 8 minutes from 8094 to the Rhine. I-57 is a possible alternate. If you're west of there, it's just 25 minutes, I-80 to the Merge. The Rhine is 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. Eden, still 40 minutes, Lake Cook to the Junction. Outbound 31 minutes, the Kennedy. An hour and 20 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Express lane save about 8 minutes. Outbound 50 minutes downtown to the airport. Eisenhower, an hour and 7 minutes, Thorndale to downtown. Outbound 53 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 10 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 39 minutes. The northbound tri-state has heavy delays from Sibley to around 47th, from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from Roosevelt up to Irving Park. But Adams Tollway stop and go Barrington to Meacham and Elmhurst to Lee. Veterans Memorial from I-55 to the Reagan Tollway and Army Trail to 290. And Jim Talamonte, ChicagoRadioDeals.com Traffic Center.
Book. You need the book for turnkey. And the book is, where is it? Oh, there it is. See, it's on your side, not my side. I am not responsible.
I'm miming the turnkey read right now, like Marcel Marceau. I think they'll appreciate my kind of artistic interpretation.
It starts with a T.
All right, now I'll read it. For a long time, Turnkey IT has been providing solutions to AM560 business owners. It's a name that you've come to know and trust. Turnkey IT takes care of your technology and has a plan that fits your company's IT budget and network needs. Interested in moving some or all of your business to the cloud? Turnkey IT can migrate your network to Microsoft's Office 365. You need someone to call when you can't print, have a lost file, or need tech support. Turnkey IT's got you covered. Offsite backup? Check. On-site support? Check. Help desk support? Check. Turnkey IT staff is professional, friendly, punctual, and will solve all of your technical problems immediately or work even after normal business hours, all for a fixed monthly rate. Turnkey IT knows your network is truly the heartbeat of your company, so focus on your business and leave the technical stuff to the pros. Visit turnkey.pro today for a plan that fits your needs. That's turnkey.pro.
Mike Rowe here. Today I'm with Frank, one of the heating and cooling pros at 1 Hour. Frank's got his head up a vent right now. How's it going up there? Frank knows what he's talking about. He's been with 1 Hour for how long, Frank?
14 years.
That's a long time. Over that time, he's worked on tons of different equipment, taken countless hours of training, and that makes Frank the man.
No, Mark Rose the
I'm
man.
sorry, Frank. Say again?
Mike Rose the man.
I heard him the first time. For any heating need, call 855 1 Hour today. Say it again, Frank.
Mike Rose the man.
That's what I'm talking about. Each independent franchise is licensed in its respective state or county.
The following is a paid political announcement.
The voices of Christians.
I am a person of faith, and I'm asking Senator Kurt to protect the environment.
I would like my children, my grandchildren, to be able to breathe clean air and drink fresh, clean water.
Without all of the smog and pollution.
Speaking out to protect God's creation.
It's up to us to care for the earth that God left us.
To protect what God created, it's in our hands, and right now, Senator Kirk, it's in your hands.
Climate change is real. It endangers the health of our children, worsens poverty throughout the world, and threatens our economy. But the Clean Power Plan of the Environmental Protection Agency will help create a healthier, more prosperous future. Call Senator Mark Kirk and tell him, as pro-life Christians, we believe reducing pollution is one of the greatest moral opportunities of our time. Tell Senator Kirk to support the EPA's Clean Power Plan. Paid for by Evangelical Environmental Network.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage, $75 per month level rate for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110 per month, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rate guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call today for a quote at 1-800-569-5440. That's 1-800-569-5440. You're probably paying more than you should. Call Term Busters, 1-800-569-5440, or visit our website at termbusters.net. Remember, 1-800-569-5440. Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting. Exam required to qualify.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy were talking about Missouri and Ithaca, too. Ithaca College.
Yeah, I heard.
$60,000 a year daycare center where the students at Ithaca College also protesting want their president to resign. Why? What did he do or not do? He didn't do or not do anything. They want him to resign because Tim Wolf, the University of Missouri president, resigned. So he should resign as well for some kind of vague sense of educational justice. I mean, just...
They have no reason.
University presidents should just resign because everyone should resign because we said so. Because it's basically the childlike mentality of we want to play too.
Yeah.
So why does Missouri get all the attention? Why do they get to have all the fun? We need to get our college president to resign too so we can join in.
Yeah, so yesterday on their quad, they had a die-in, and then all of a sudden they stood up together and started chanting. And they're chanting Tom Rashawn. That's the name of their president that they want to resign for really no reason. I've looked. Trust me. I've tried to find some reason why they want him to resign.
What I just characterized is based on their statement. They've stated there is no reason other than what I've suggested. Cheryl in Brookfield, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hello.
Hi, Cheryl. You're on.
Hello.
Hi, Cheryl. Yeah, you're on.
Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah. My daughter's at Mizzou, and I'm just really worried.
Why?
Well, I can only tell you what she's telling me.
All right. What's she telling you?
So yesterday, majority of the kids stayed in their dorm rooms. They did not go to class because during the week, the professors were canceling classes to go protest.
Oh.
So, and then two, she was, she just joined a sorority. They can't wear their letters on campus, she was saying. And I don't know. I'm just really worried.
That's so sad.
Wait. They can't wear their letters on campus. The sorority girls can't wear their letters on campus because why?
In the fraternity, the sororities and fraternities, their houses are on lockdown,
and they don't want to be targeted.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, that is so sad. That is the sick state of affairs over there at Mizzou. But hopefully things will get better. But there were, there was a 19-year-old punk who made threats on social media saying that he was going to shoot students. So a lot of people, businesses closed down and people are on lockdown. That's so sad.
Holly and Hudson, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
If you're wondering why not one of the students that's been involved with this is actually from the state of Missouri, it's because, they're all from Chicagoland or from surrounding states. And it's because for years, Mizzou allows you to go your freshman year, pay out of state, and if you agree to stay in town during the summer between your freshman and sophomore year, you then start your sophomore year in state tuition. So they've basically been siphoning off students who are only going there, or maybe not only, but one of the reasons is for this deal that they can't get in their own state. So there is no lifelong blood tradition of Mizzou Tiger fan, they're eroding their base of diehard, loyal Mizzou Tiger supporters by diluting it as state university with just on a bribe to come here for a cheaper to get in state.
Thanks for the call, Holly. I'll tell you what they're also doing. Any quality aspiring journalism student, you think you want to go to Missouri's J School now?
Heck no. I'm going to pass on that. Thanks.
Terry and Gurney.
Yeah, good morning, guys. It just seems like it's the tail wagging the dog here. Can someone please help me understand what has actually happened that is of substance that would cause the president to step down? I understand that there were some inappropriate activities, but in my opinion, it should have been dealt with head on, and it can still be dealt with head on. How long has this been going on? I mean, has it been going on for years?
Yeah, they were mad they couldn't protest after Ferguson, Missouri, and then they were mad at the N-word, and that's it.
No,
I mean,
this is seizing an opportunity to break down the system, which is what this is really about, and what they've said in their own words. This isn't me making it up. These are students with this Concerned Student 1950 group, which are connected to Black Lives Matter. That's what they've said. So when somebody shows me and tells me who they are, I have every reason to believe them.
This is a 4-second sum.
We're trying to break the system down, and it just so happens we're starting with him.
Yeah, what's confusing?
We're starting with him.
No, nothing confusing about this. Sean in Elmwood Park.
A coward dies 1,000 deaths. And what this kid has learned in his 8 years of college, 8 years of college, what this kid has mastered is all that a coward needs is a rumor. I think he learned it from Hank Paulson. He might have learned it, though, from George Bush with the Patriot Act. But he's been paying attention over these last 8 years. And all that a coward needs is rumors. And when a rumor is given, they will rally, they will seize other people's rights, and they will do it because they shroud themselves in virtues. Just look at a Barry Sanders rally. This moron has achieved nothing in his entire existence.
Barry Sanders.
However, yeah, I mean, yeah, Barry Sanders. Look at it. Look at
Bernie.
His rally. Bernie. Yeah. What's the difference? Bernie Sanders.
Well, one was a great running back, and the other's a lunatic socialist.
This is the morning show. More Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
This is Michelle DeVal from DeVal Jewelers. Dennis and I want you to know that when you sell your diamonds, gold, silver, platinum, and estate jewelry to us, we will strive to give you the highest cash payment possible.
And all transactions are strictly confidential. There's absolutely no pressure. And like Michelle said, we can pay you 50% more by eliminating the middleman. Why? Because we are direct buyers.
We buy certified diamonds and engagement rings, 1/2 carat and above, broken and used gold jewelry, estate jewelry, gold and silver coins, and more. We really do understand the sentimental value and pledge to be considerate, knowledgeable, and private.
We have been Chicagoland's family jeweler for over 100 years. We take pride in having the perfect jewelry selection for every budget and taste preference.
We're just south of the Kennedy on Harlem Avenue in Harwood Heights. Call us at 708-867-8200. That's 708-867-8200 or visit DAVALLE.com.
DeVal Jewelers, more bling
and less sting.
Gentleman, Dan Proft, and it's Movember. Guys, you know what that means. Mustaches and taking better care of your health. In honor of Movember, Low T Center is offering a testosterone and PSA test for only $50, and no appointment is necessary. Low T Center makes it easy to get your levels checked. I experienced it personally. You walk in, take a simple blood test, and you get your results within minutes. Their services are covered by most health insurance. Low T levels can make you feel tired and grumpy, can raise your cholesterol and cause weight gain. Low T Center's experienced medical staff will educate you on the benefits and risks of testosterone replacement. Low T Center even has convenient and flexible hours, so take care of yourself this Movember and get your PSA and testosterone tested for only $50. I did. Call my friends at Low T Center today at 630-409-4305. That's 630-409-4305, or visit them online at lowtcenter.com and tell them Dan Prof sent you.
AM 560, The Answer.
Just got a text message from someone at Mizzou. Now they're offering counseling for those who've been traumatized by yesterday's lockdown.
Of course they are.
Oh, my gosh. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, we'll talk more about Mizzou and take your phone calls.
And I'll explain why Ithaca College is all Gene Hackman's fault.
But first, let's go back into the newsroom and say good morning once again to Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, 44 degrees. Winds out of the southwest at 25. A sophomore at the Missouri University of Science and Technology, Missouri Rolla, could make his first court appearance today in charges of making terroristic threats. Hunter Park is accused of posting online threats to shoot at black students and faculty at the University of Missouri campus in Columbia. Two men federal authorities say were plotting to attack synagogues and black churches are expected in a Virginia courtroom today for a preliminary hearing. Robert Doyle and Ronald Cheney are accused of trying to buy weapons to carry out those attacks. Law enforcement authorities in Europe say they've broken up a Norway-based Iraqi Kurd recruitment ring that was trying to send fighters to Iraq and Syria. The Witch of November is casting a powerful spell of wicked weather over millions of Americans. The Witch is actually the name of a weather system that Experts give powerful low-pressure centers that blew over semis, damaged homes, and knocked out electricity in parts of Iowa, Missouri, and Nebraska. Just yesterday in Sioux City, roofs were torn off, and folks could not stay on the road.
It's been rough. It's slow going. 55 mile an hour from Kansas City. That's about all I can get. You just want to go, 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 but you can't.
Storm expected to blast severe winds across the upper Midwest and Ohio Valley through this day. The last time we had a witch this powerful was October 2010. Winds have forced the closure of the Chicago Skyway Bridge, and ComEd reporting several thousand power outages scattered throughout their area this morning. Strong winds are also pushing back overnight closures on Lakeshore Drive, and that construction could be delayed until Sunday or Monday night. An investigation is underway after an infant was found dead on the north side. Police say the newborn was discovered last night outside a building in the 800 block of West Eastwood Avenue. And authorities are investigating after a former Chicago high school basketball player, Michael Wright, was found dead in Brooklyn, New York. He was discovered Tuesday with a head wound inside his SUV, his death being treated as a homicide. Wright, you may recall, played at Farragut Academy in the early 1990s with Kevin Garnett and Ronnie Fields. He was a standout at Arizona, drafted by the Knicks, never made their roster, but played very successfully overseas with several teams. Chicago sports, Northern Illinois, right here on AM 560 last night, racked up a 41-30 victory in the MAC over Buffalo. The news, a service of TrueCar. Save time and money by downloading TrueCar's mobile app. Configure the new car you want, see what others paid for it, and lock in guaranteed savings from TrueCar certified dealers in your area. Most users save over $3,000 off MSRP. Save time, money, never overpay. Download the TrueCar app today. 8:35 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher believes in forgive and forget.
With a guy like Quentin Tarantino, who is reportedly about to apologize for calling cops murderers, are you inclined to forgive him? The way I see it, we should have our hearts open to somebody who's willing to say they're sorry. If we fail to forgive when somebody says, you know what, I blew it, I'm wrong, then we're no better than the left.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11, on AM 560. The Answer.
Attend the Chicago Military Collectible Show Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Odium Expo Center on Villa Avenue in Villa Park. For details, visit militarypromotions.info.
I'm Lex, CEO of Balance of Nature. At Balance of Nature, we believe in real communication. Whether you call into the office or hear a success story on the radio, you can be sure it's real, unsolicited, and unscripted conversation.
They're just awesome. I keep telling people because they keep asking me, what am I doing? I told them what I did with my cholesterol. I had the blood test, right? And it went down 100 points. 262, now it's 162. And then my bad cholesterol was 62, now it's 52. So, and then with my blood work, the doctor said, I don't know what you're doing, but everything is just perfect.
When you can give your body a full variety of 31 different fruits and vegetables in their 100% natural, whole food form, you receive the unmatched balance of nutrition. Call toll-free 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and be sure to enter promo code CHICAGO.
It's 8:36. Let's get an update on the roads at our ChicagoRadioDeals.com traffic center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. The westbound Indiana Toll Road is jammed from the West Point Toll Plaza to 106 across the state line, where the Skyway is closed in both directions between 106th and 92nd due to the high winds and debris on the Skyway Bridge. Bishop Ford Freeway, as a result, is a lot heavier. The travel time is 55 minutes from 8094 to the Ryan, I-57, 25 minutes, I-80 to the Merge, and the Ryan, 25 minutes, 95th to the Loop. Inbound 8 delays start at Peterson, 40 minutes, Lake Hook to Montrose, outbound 30, the Kennedy, an hour and 10 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 50 minutes. The Eisenhower, an hour and 7 minutes from Thorndale to the post office, outbound 53 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 2 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 52 minutes. Lakeshore Drive southbound really jammed, Foster to North Avenue, northbound slow from the Stevenson to Jackson, northbound Tri-State, stop and go Sibley to 75th, from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis and Roosevelt to Irving Park. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the AirComfort.com Weather Center, Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solution provider. A very windy day and passing showers through the morning. Locally damaging winds, high 51. Currently 44. We've just had a wind gust around Aurora at 57 miles an hour this morning. And your next news is at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by HealthQuest Radio with Dr. David Kolbaba. HealthQuest Radio is heard Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock here on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues now. And make sure to stay tuned to catch me, Mike Gallagher, coming up at 9, only on AM 560, The Answer.
Let's go to counseling. Come on.
Yeah.
They're offering counseling at Mizzou this morning for any students who were traumatized by yesterday's lockdown or actually all this past week's activities there. So
the complete abdication of authority. Additional casualties at Missouri as well. Professor Dale Brigham, nutritional scientist professor, he was asked whether or not they had an exam in his class.
Well, you should point out he's a white professor. Okay.
Oh.
Because that's part of this story.
Yeah, so there was an exam in class, and it was asked if the exam was going to go on because, the campus is on lockdown. It's a police state there in Columbia. Dale Brigham wrote in an email to his class, if you don't feel safe coming to class, then don't come to class. I will be there, and there will be an exam administered in our class. If you give in to bullies, they win. The only way bullies are defeated is by standing up to them. If we cancel the exam, they win. If we go through with it, they lose. I know which side I'm on. You make your own choice.
And he has been slammed via his emails because he wrote that because some people interpreted bullies as blacks. Like instead of saying stand up to the bullies, he really meant stand up to the blacks and get to school.
Of course.
Get to class.
Of course, concerned student 1950 and these other agitators in training interpret it that way because they're bedwetting children.
But he
of course
received
they did.
Such hateful emails that he resigned.
Right. He responded to one. Listen to this email from Tori Dawson. This is an email that was sent to Professor Brigham from Tori Dawson, student. And I'm reading this verbatim. How can tell a student to face two bullies when they are threats that he will die? Oh, boy. She has more problems than her grade in that nutritional science classes, and it went on along those lines. Professor Brigham responded, the exam is canceled. Our students will be able to take the exam at an alternate date with no loss of points. No one will have to come to class today, and I'm resigning my position. See ya. Well,
I mean, it's sick because he was a very well-known and loved and respected professor.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people took his class. They describe him as one of their favorite professors. He was always helpful to students, super enthusiastic. They were engaged in his class. He held their attention for an hour and lecture.
Blah, blah, blah. Big deal. That has nothing to do with being a professor.
But he just said stand up to the bullies and come to class, and he resigned?
Yeah, what does educating children have to do with being a professor on a college campus? Nothing. If you're not part of the struggle, these kind of pampered, overgrown adolescents, then you have no place on a college campus unless you're at Purdue. Because Mitch Daniels, you know him from such governorships as the Indiana gubernatorial position.
Yeah, he's been on the show a few times. He's wonderful.
He is. He's the president of Purdue University now. He spoke up yesterday about the children's revolt at Yale and Missouri and other places. He wrote a letter to the Purdue community in which he said, among other things, events this week at the University of Missouri and Yale University should remind us all of the importance of absolute fidelity to our shared values. First, that we strive to be, without exception, a welcoming, inclusive, and discrimination-free community where each person is respected and treated with dignity. Second, to be steadfast in preserving academic freedom and individual liberty. What a proud contrast to the environments that appear to prevail at places like Missouri and Yale. Today and every day, we should remember the tenets of the statements consistent with the campus and do our best to live up to them fully. Essentially, Daniels is arguing that tolerance not only can coexist on campus with a commitment to free speech and open debate, the two are inextricably linked. You don't have one without the other. And, of course, he's precisely right. But that's at Purdue. That's not at Missouri or Ithaca or Yale
or Harvard
or so many other.
There's 20 colleges
campuses
right now that the students are trying to get the president to force him to resign.
Yeah, and
he or she.
and by
20
the-
colleges.
And I referenced this before, but let me just read from the statement at Ithaca College, $60,000 a year daycare center. Members of the campus community walked out Wednesday and protested, calling for the resignation of the president. Here's why. Quoting the statement from the event Facebook page that precipitated the protest. Quote, for all the injustices students of color face on this campus and other colleges nationally, with the University of Missouri's president stepping down, we demand Roshan, their president, to do the same, as it is vital to fight against both covert and overt racism in all places of education and empowerment. So Roshan should resign because Wolf did, because we need to stop injustices nationally. That's, I mean, work that logic. Philosophy 101, students. Tim in Old Town, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
Good.
I personally find the day-to-day events unfolding rather uninteresting and certainly unsurprising. I do think this is a very helpful lens, though, to view the current presidential comments that we're hearing in the presidential debates from people like Bernie Sanders on trying to make college free, and then the all-out assault on for-profit colleges. They want to force students into places like Missouri, like Yale, where they control the debate, where these ridiculous events can unfold, and they can be inundated with this rather absurd mentality that our young adults are emerging with.
Thanks for the call, Tim. I agree with that. And Jonah Goldberg wrote persuasively on Topic today, suggesting that this is the generation of fragile students that the mandarins of political correctness from a generation ago were waiting for. And now they have arrived. And oh boy, isn't it interesting. Carl in Arlington Heights, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, you two. If they want the campus to be safer and the students to be able to go about their business, they should do two things and do two things immediately. Number one, make it a gun-free zone. That in and of itself should solve the problem. And number two, if that doesn't work, little Johnny, the hunger striker, his dad could put the bill for a couple of weeks worth of security, I would think, to make the campus safer.
Right. Thanks for
Yeah,
the call,
I mean,
Carl.
this kid, real quick, Jonathan Butler, he comes from a lot of wealth. His dad made $7 million last year. Family overall net worth is $20 million. And, you know, he wanted the president of Mizzou to publicly denounce his white privilege. That's what he wanted. And look at where he's come from and where he is.
Privilege. Right. Yeah. Just a quick aside, another college that Peyton and Eli can't go to, two colleges actually, both University of Texas at Austin as well as UTEP.
Oh, no. I love UTEP.
The Miners, I know.
Yeah, I lived there. I love that school.
Don Haskins spinning in his grave.
Oh, I used to drink with him at a bar, but that's another day,
Oh,
another
boy.
story.
All right.
Coach, we call him Coach Haskins.
Well, two professors, one from UT and one from UTEP, have started a movement called Gun Free UT against the opening up of concealed carry on college campuses in Texas, which was a new law in Texas passed earlier this year, takes effect next year. Here's what they said. The two professors, one UT Austin history professor, Jorge Canizares Esguerra.
Nice way to speak Spanish.
It's pretty close.
Yeah, don't get it right, get it on.
And UTEP political science professor Patrick Timmons. Did I get that correctly?
Yes, you did.
Correct, I should say. Speaking like a University of Missouri undergrad here. Here is what they said about the Texas law allowing for persons with concealed carry permits to carry on college campuses. We are witnessing the great ideological return of settler colonialism. America has all along been about the sheer display of white male power with guns over Indians, over slaves, over females, over Mexicans, over Asians, over African Americans, and over Arabs. The return of the vigilante movement is a giant collective white pushback against the civil rights movement and against the unintended consequences of globalization, migration, and demography. When a student brings a gun into our individual First Amendment right to control the bond of trust and community that is constitutionally under our care, I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, what does that mean?
That's just reading what they wrote.
I went to my happy place.
Yes, this is a classroom. He has privileged his individual right over our right to establish and control the bond of trust and community in the classroom necessary to teach. The mere presence of guns can intimidate and thwart free speech. So can the mere presence of mobs and ignorant professors. Wow. That's University of Texas and UTEP. Those are two of your deep-thinking professors at those two institutions of higher learning, not just Missouri. Ross on the west side.
I went to my happy thing.
Ross, you need to turn down your radio, please.
Yes, he has privileged his individual right over our right.
Wow.
Isn't it fun
Ross.
listening to?
Yeah, I like it.
Good.
It's like it just occurred. Steve in Hinsdale.
Yeah, I did my graduate public health work at St. Louis University about 35 years ago in the Show Me State. I also was accepted to the School of Public Health at the University of Missouri. Boy, I tell you, did I win that bet all these years later, didn't I?
Yeah.
It's and I've been seeing for years the quality of journalism has just really gone south and sucks. And you can sure see it in the J School at Missouri now, too. Thanks. Have a great day, guys.
Thanks, Steve.
I got a great text message. What happened to the anti-bullying campaign? A liberal bullying, a white woman bullying is okay. I need muscle.
Well, this is consistent with the paradox of liberalism. How do you eradicate bullying? By bullying. How do you eradicate discrimination? By discriminating. It's nonsense.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Windy out there, 35 to 50 mile per hour gusts at times. It'll be lasting all day long and into the evening, and a little bit will linger over into tomorrow, Friday. We're going to have intervals of clouds and sun tomorrow, a high of 46. Today, a high of 51. Let's get the travel times and a man who's been very busy today. Here's Jim Telemonte.
At the airports, Amy, most flights are moving as scheduled. There are a few cancellations at O'Hare, some delays, but it's better than you'd expect considering the winds. The Chicago Skyway is closed between 92nd and 106 due to winds and debris on the Big Bridge. Westbound traffic from the Indiana Toll Road jammed from the West Point Toll Plaza. The inbound Bishop Ford Freeway is still very heavy due to that closure. 55 minutes from 8094 to the Ryan. The inbound Ryan, then is 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. The Edens, 40 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 30. Kennedy, an hour and 7 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 50 minutes. The Ike, an hour and 10 minutes from Thorndale to the post office, outbound 53 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 2 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 45 minutes. The northbound Tri-State, very slow still. Southwest Highway to 31st, and from the Cermak Toll most of the way to Irving Park. Eastbound Adams Tollway, seeing big backups on the westbound side from the Tri-State to Lee. Eastbound slow, Barrington to Meacham and Toohey to Lee. I'm Jim Talamonte, ChicagoRadioDeals.com Traffic Center.
The gift-giving season is right around the corner, and here's a suggestion. Give yourself the gift of a great night's sleep and then give a gift to another. Of course, I'm talking about MyPillow, the buy one, get one free offer, which isn't going to last forever, folks. Now with that offer, you can also get a 60-day money-back guarantee. So basically, you can try MyPillow risk-free. You have nothing to lose and could be enjoying your best sleep ever. Don't take it from me. Take it from Philip.
I'm sleeping through the night. I'm getting better quality of sleep, and I feel better rested when I wake.
Philip, an AM 560 listener and a MyPillow user. So be like Philip, be like many, and get your pillow right now. Go to MyPillow.com, 2 for the price of 1 with the promo code Amy. Or you could call 800-489-0201. MyPillow, the official pillow of the National Sleep Foundation, American-made. MyPillow.com.
My brother Chris is allergic to talking about retirement. Bring up his future and you'll get glazed eyes and awkward answers. Don't believe me? Let's try it. Chris, when will you retire?
Ha! You darn right I like nachos.
See what I mean? Chris, do you have a retirement account?
It's gotta be the right kind of cheese.
One last time. Are you ever going to retire?
And don't forget jalapenos. I love jalapenos.
Good for you, buddy.
Avoiding the retirement conversation? At the Mutual Fund Store, we get it, and our advisors are here to help. Whether you're storing 401k statements in a shoebox, can't tell a traditional from a Roth IRA, or include piggy bank as one of your retirement accounts, there are no judgments here. We'll simply sit down with you one-on-one, talk about where you're at, and help you put a plan in place to get you where you want to be tomorrow. Let's get the conversation started today with a free consultation.
Hi, I'm Steve Check with the Mutual Fund Store in Chicagoland. Call me at 888-498-3636 or visit mutualfundstore.com and let's talk about your financial goals today.
This is Dan Proft with an Upstream Idea, brought to you in part by the Illinois Opportunity Project. Baa1 is Illinois' bond rating after its most recent downgrade by Moody's. A more accurate grade would be F, because the continued deterioration of Illinois' creditworthiness represents the failure of Illinois' political ruling class to abide its fiduciary duties to all of us. So what happens when Illinois' ruling class runs out of your money to spend? Well, they devise a new scheme to take more of your money to address the crisis they created. In the movie The Prestige, the Michael Caine character, Cutter, explains that every great magic trick has three parts. The pledge, where the magician shows you something ordinary. Here we have a relatively low state income tax, and Illinois is one of the few states that doesn't tax retirement income. The turn, where the magician takes the ordinary and does something extraordinary with it. Let's raise the relatively low state income tax, as well as create a new tax on retirement income, and Illinois' financial problems and the needs and wants of its families will disappear. And finally, the prestige, where the magician has put the trick right in front of us, but you don't see it. You want to be fooled. And so we listen to the Chicago Press Corps tell us that taking more of our money is the responsible thing to do. Heck, it was even our idea. Illinois' political mystics have fooled voters for 4 decades. Perhaps they'll do so again. But millions have realized that Illinois has lost its prestige. And the one thing leisure domain cannot make reappear is all of those who have left. For more ideas like this, visit upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. I'm Dan Proft.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues now. And make sure to stay tuned to catch me, Mike Gallagher, coming up at 9, only on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, Amy, how do you take your coffee?
Well, black.
Yeah, I take mine black and
sounds weird.
I take mine black and bitter like my heart as well. Here's some new information, though.
You're going to tell me about myself because of the coffee I drink?
Don't take it from me. Take it from a study published in the journal Appetite. Researchers gathered a sample of 1,000 adults, asked them to rate their preferences for foods with distinct flavor profiles. And it turns out that if you take your coffee black, there is a correlation to being a psychopath. And
well, then there's a lot of psychopaths running around because I think you take your coffee black. I've seen your work in the kitchen.
You got that? I said, yeah.
Yeah, I got your number.
And understand, researchers not talking skip the party and Netflix antisocial psychopath. We're talking about the psychological kind of antisocial behavior categorized by harm or lack of consideration for the well-being of others. You know what's another leading indicator of that?
What?
If you like Huey Lewis's sports album.
As you all know, first prize is a Cadillac Eldorado. Anybody want to see second prize? Second prize is a set of steak knives. Third prize is you're fired.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
It's the biggest sale of the season. It's the Apple Vacation Super Sale. With Apple Vacations, it's all included. Round-trip airfare, deluxe accommodations, all meals, all drinks, all tips, entertainment, and so much more. Apple Vacations has your winter getaway perfectly priced. Discover miles of sparkling beaches in Panama. 7 nights at Rio Playa Blanca start from only $14.49. Or make it Costa Rica. Enjoy a full week of unlimited luxury at Dreams Las Mareas, Costa Rica, and save up to $400 per couple. Both trips include round-trip nonstop air, resort transfers, all meals, drinks, and taxes. Call Traveloni at 312-334-7876 to book your trip today. That's Traveloni, 312-334-7876. Or visit Traveloni.com. Prices per person based on double occupancy for select departures starting January 15th, including charter, air on extra, or Copa Airlines from O'Hare, and taxes and fees, including September 11 security fee. See AppleVacations.com for baggage charges. Prices subject to availability and change. Restrictions apply. PC 15094.
Men, women, take a quick look at the mirror. Do you see those bags under your eyes? Well, you can simply get rid of them just in time for Thanksgiving. Introducing Genucel's plant stem cell therapy for bags and puffiness under the eyes. I love Chamonix. I love the Genucel plant stem cell technology. They take this stem cell from a Swiss apple. It makes your skin glow. It tightens it up. You look great. And with its instant effects, which is a separate product, you'll see results in the first 12 hours guaranteed or your money back. So order Genucel now. And Chamonix will also give you the legendary Esotique wrinkle treatment absolutely free just for trying Genucel today. So call this number, 800-525-8323. That's 800-525-8323. You'll be absolutely amazed by the results or your money back guaranteed. 800-525-8323. There's only 2 weeks left until Thanksgiving, so why not take years off your appearance and get compliments from everyone? 800-525-8323.
America has a serious narcotics problem. 90% of the world's narcotics are taken by Americans. They have a place, but when you're dealing with chronic pain, pain that doesn't go away or which frequently returns, there is a better way. You're masking the pain. We help you find and deal with the source of the chronic pain to get real relief. This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. We're serious players in pain. Our team are national leaders and we're educators in the treatment of pain. We will work with you to diminish or eliminate your pain and help you get your life back. Contact us. We will help you. You don't have to live with chronic pain. We treat all pain. We don't mask it with painkillers and narcotics that are not good for you and which can be addictive. I have a simple message for you. If you or someone you love or someone you know has chronic pain, contact us. Treating